can feel the evolution. All my time no longer frozen. I'm leaving all the all. I don't know who I will become, but I know what I want more than ever before. Outside, I'm gonna stay no longer blind. I will rise above the state of I can feel the evolution. All my time no longer frozen. I'm leaving all the all. I don't know who I will become, but I know what I want more than ever before. Outside, I'm gonna stay no longer blind. I will rise above the state of mind.
Get on the dance floor.
As you wish.
House.
August 31st, the end of ATS Season 5. This is the Apex Cup, the second highest division in the Ascend Tournament Series. And this is the Ascend Tournament Series mainstream. If you're here to watch all the action, you're at the right spot. I'm SportyFC. Joining me here is Krusty Dog of the Krusty Crew Gaming Organization. Behind us is Kyle with production. How you doing, Krusty? 8 teams remain in the Apex Cup. With it being single elimination, that number is going to dwindle quite quickly.
Good evening. Welcome. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me tonight. It's always an honor to co-cast with you, Sporty, and to be here for such a great night of Rocket League. I'm excited to watch both these teams play.
Yeah, as you said as well, so many great teams playing here. If we take a look at our bracket, as I mentioned already, we have 8 teams left in our quarterfinals. Tonight is the final night of action. 8 teams left from top to bottom here. 4 different streams are going to be going live in just a few minutes or have been live right now. The first quarterfinal is Phoenix United Ghost taking on Mishmash Gaming. That will be streamed by Pyroblocks, who we'll be seeing more of it later tonight. On the other side, Whiffer Wetjet's Torrent Corp, a rematch of the Final Bracket Qualifier, streamed by Maxine on TTV/MAXINE0_O. Pyro, by the way, is PYROBLOCKS. And then Taquito will be streaming Torrent Gillion and 100x Solis Taquito on aFiestyTaquito, aFiestyTaquito. With that one, we'll be seeing Taquito join us on the semifinals, but for now, the action only gets more and more intense because we've got Team Evil Vagabond and Element 7, another rematch from the Final Bracket Qualifier, and a very big one at that because last time these two teams played each other, it was the upper round 1 of the Final Bracket Qualifier, and it was a Game 7 battle. Vagabond won that matchup, but ever since then, Element 7 have had some pretty impressive results and have only gotten better here, Krusty. They played in Game 7 before. I mean, you obviously know the stress of playing on Game 7. You yourself have seen your teams play on Game 7 before. Knowing that these teams played on Game 7 before, that's surely something in the back of their minds and surely something that they're considering because it could very likely happen again.
Yeah, exactly. That's always got to play into it. It also makes the team Element 7 want that win even more. They're hungry for the win, so I think they're going to battle it out. You've said they've looked really good recently in some other leagues, and so it'll be exciting to see how these two teams match up. Vagabond has been undefeated, and so it's hard to not support that. But, I'm Krusty Dog. I love an underdog story, so I'm excited to watch and see where it goes tonight.
Yeah, that's definitely the thing. And the thing about this Vagabond team, even though they've been undefeated, well, I mean, they've not just been undefeated, they've been pretty dominant as well. Their group, albeit the weakest of the three groups this season in Group B, they're the only team that actually made it out of their group into the top 8. Even then, they went undefeated in that group, 6-0, plus 14 game differential. It was their playoff bracket qualifier. That was really quite impressive. Element 7 and GHG Aurora. Vagabond, I think many have considered, have kind of gotten away with things here, considering they were in the easiest group, and their final bracket qualifier run, while not easy, wasn't nearly as tough as some of these other high-seeded teams. They also, again, used to be 100x Vagabond. Now they switched over to Team Evo. They're the only team left out of Team Evo. They've added in Retro as that replacement starter instead of Cypher, although they are going to be playing with Cypher tonight. If we take a look at these rosters, Cypher is listed as a sub. I know for a fact he's likely to play tonight in replacement. He's likely to play tonight in replacement of K Dante on Evo Vagabond. So they added in Retro during that final bracket qualifier. Rarely do you see high-seeded teams ever do that, but they did it. And clearly they haven't slowed down, but I think many people still have the question of, was that sub change the right choice this late in the season?
Yeah, I mean that always have a dynamic change on the team, whether it was because of scheduling or if it does bring a better chemistry to the team or just some skill sets that they can sub in and out just to make sure that they get the wins. It'll be good to see how they implement Retro into the play. It looks like he won't even be available for the first couple games. He's in a 1v1 tournament. It looks like from your chat.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Actually, it's actually, no. So Dante initially wasn't supposed to make it because he was sick. He might still be sick, but yeah, you're right. It's Retro who can't make it for the initial start of their quarterfinals. So they could be playing with their old roster with Cypher on it. So that'll be interesting to see, that Vagabond roster that has not played together since that upper round 1 matchup as well. So they'll be playing with their sub. On the other side, Element 7 are unchanged this season. Stellar, Nagy, and Zan. These three have not changed at all. They've been quite a dominant team recently in the leagues that they've been playing, and specifically against high-ranked teams. They've been very, very strong. So this Element 17, they know how to keep matches close, and against Evo Vagabond the day before, against even better teams than Evo Vagabond, they've done it as well. This Element 17 knows how to play against Vagabond. That's the thing about it. They got to make sure they put that to good use, because if they don't, this will be the end of the night for them. It's single elimination. You win, you go on, you lose, and you're out. For Element 7, they have what it takes, but the question is, can they do it under the pressure and against Vagabond, who has already beat them before?
Yeah, I'm very familiar with watching Stellar play, and so it'll be exciting to watch him play to lead the team, to see how they go. Like you said, they've been playing really well, and so I'm looking forward to seeing what they have. I know that they're hungry. You said they went to Game 7 last time. I know whenever my teams go to Game 7, that just fuels them for the next time they meet, that they want to win, and they keep that in the back of their mind. And I bet if it were my teams, I think they'd be watching those replays to see what elements that they could take from that old match to be able to fight their way through to the next level tonight.
Yeah, definitely here. And you need to find that next level. There's definitely a lot that these players are relying on here. But Evo Vagabond, Element 7, we're only just moments away from getting this match started. But man, so many solid players tonight. So I think the player to watch out for, at least on the Vagabond side, will be Osklo. Specifically, Osklo is going to be a good player to watch out. Number 8 on total goals scored. He himself, actually not even in the top 10 of ATS rating, but he is extremely solid with goal scoring. And that's the thing about this Vagabond roster. Super heavy on the offense, super heavy in the goal scoring, super heavy overall. Cypher's going to be a player to watch out to as well. And Dante, both in the assists. They're both very good at that. So expect this roster to rotate around Osklo and the way that he can shoot. I expect K Dante and Cypher to play more support roles tonight, and if they can do it well, which we have seen them do it many times tonight, we know that they have the advantage here over Element 7.
And apparently, I need to apologize to Zan about saying Stellar leading. And so, yeah, I'm sorry, Zan.
Well, I mean, I know this Element 7 roster loves to have a little bit of fun with each other.
Yeah.
So that's the funny part about this thing. And I know the same thing goes for a lot of teams. I know Yukio Kaizen, who won a couple weeks ago in the Phoenix Cup, themselves are a team that was sort of dysfunctional, but really more so friends with each other. The same thing here with Element 7. But tonight is not about fun. It's not about friendship. It's about championships and that $200 prize pool that waits at the end of this tournament. The quarterfinals begin. Element 7 and Team Evo Vagabond. One team undefeated, the other with a recent resurgence. one more best of 7, one more big match, and one chance to prove if you deserve to be here or if your run ends early. It's a best of 7 series. Only one team can move on from here. Dante will look for the first chance. That one's going to go just above the net here. As this one saved away. Cypher cleared back by Stellar. Zan will keep the play going. Already quick paced. No surprise considering that this is how both these teams like to play. But that speed is really going to be something that you'll see a lot from Vagabond. As Cypher subbing in almost got the first goal. An air bump that just hit up the crossbar. Vagabond so close to getting the first goal of the evening.
Oh my goodness, it's coming on. It's back and forth already. Dante already has a great touch of the ball, getting it back over into Element 7's territory. Nagi's there, takes possession, gets it past Cypher. Not able to keep possession of the ball, giving Dante the opportunity to get the ball back.
The action continues, and with how much has gone on so far, it's been fast-paced here, Krusty. I mentioned that initially, that these players come out of the gate swinging, come out of the gate with speed. As a goal goes in, Stellar's gonna have it! Safe out of position, that's what your speed does for you. The speed of Element 7 catching Evo Vagabond on a missed rotation. I was gonna ask you what this speed will do to teams, but clearly, we've already got an answer.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I'm used to seeing this up in the higher SSL teams, but seeing this here, they did come out really fast, really on the gun, and so it's good to see. That just proves that as they continue to improve and do better. Ooh, we have a Rule 1 on the field, too, as that goal was scored, and we have 2 goals in already for Element 7.
Well, they're definitely looking to get off to a strong start, to say the very least, but say even more than the very least. This is a very impressive beginning. I mean, you talk about it, this team in Element 7, they want that revenge more than anything else here. This Vagabond team took them down in upper round 1, made their life so much tougher, but it will not be easy here either. Okay, Dante will have an answer. Element 7, they want the revenge, but you can't deny how good Vagabond is. This team can beat anyone, and Element 7 are included in that list.
That was just an amazing shot there. Sidewall pass, and Dante's able to get it and score right in the net. Beautiful shot.
Yeah, an early start and an early goal, but the offense continues here. Vagabond know the work has only just started. And only this team likes to beat people. They like to destroy people, and chance to, as that one nearly flew in. It will be Osco to the back wall, Zan to hold, but it is laying in front. Nagy off the back post, in goes Cypher! Save away by Stellar. K. Dante with room, the fake, the shot saved by Nagy. And the offense continues. Here goes Cypher. Shots after shots. Element 7 getting a beatdown courtesy of the Evo Vagabond, but they continue to stand after all this play. Their defense holds on, and it will need to do this continuously. Vagabond aren't slowing down.
They sure aren't. They're putting the pressure on. They're trying to find the net. Right now, though, it gets cleared away, and Element 7 brings the ball back onto their territory, keeps the pressure on, and there Stellar is, finds opportunity, seizes it, and finds the back of the net, bringing it 3-1.
Even though they've only had 4 shots here, Element 7, they've got 3 goals. Evo Vagabond on this side, no goals and 6 shots taken. So there's something to be said about quantity and quality here. Element 7 winning that battle right now with the plays that they have right in front of the nets. And the difference is also how close they are. Every single shot Element 7 has had has been extremely close to the net. They have not exactly been ones to shoot from far away. They've been holding their shots more often than not. Evo Vagabond trying to overwhelm their opponents. That quality has not been there for them, and that has been the difference so far in Game 1.
Yeah, Hey Dante's the one who is more likely for Vagabond to take those long shots for them, it looks like at this point. And you're right, Element 7 keeping it closer to the chest, as they say, being able to control the ball, keep it in, just finding better opportunities. K Dante on that, though, caster curse, comes in and scores, gets a nice shot right off the sidewall. Not the sidewall.
Yeah. Well, it is a shot out the side here, and Element 7 leading by only 1 goal at this point. Less than 2 minutes to go. And Element 7 a little bit shaken right now, but they may be able to find another. As Nagy, oh, he missed that completely. Here goes Oslo, no goals yet, but we'll look for one here. He's got room. No flip reset taken, leaves it for Dante. This one saved away. Cypher's the last one back, and he doesn't have a lot of boost, and we'll take that challenge anyways. Dante missed it completely. Oslo's waiting as well, but it's Nagy to be challenged. It's Dante now. Leaves it. Oslo with room. Oslo with space. The dribble saved away. Got bumped off. And Zan will have the block. A huge defensive stand. Element 7 have had 4 saves so far, but it feels like it's been 400 saves with how much pressure they've met. Another play in front. That one kept aside. Oslo's just wide. Cypher to take it. He's got room. The front post is open. Oh, he hit the post itself. The net was there, but Vagabond missed. And that's about as close as they've gone to tying this game up.
Element 7 takes it back, tries to make something happen. It's just not able to find the net. That ball gets cleared back over into Element 7's territory. Dante looking to do something. Let's see, Stellar taking his time. Not able to get the clear. Given an opportunity for Vagabond, Evo Vagabond, to keep the pressure on. Free ball. Stellar gets a nice touch of the ball. Gets it back. But Dante's there, able to take possession with a bang. Stellar brings the pressure back on, but Cypher's there, answers it. Dante gets it back. Stellar, once again, just off the back wall, able to take possession, gets it past one. Is he going to find the net? No, Cypher's there. Does a great job getting the clear. We have 9 seconds left. Will we see a last-second goal? Tied up, get game 1 overtime.
They've been trying all game, but they may not get their chance. It's Oslo who can't win it. Cypher's got full boost, and he's got a player in front. Zan, block, to the floor. Element 7 take game 1, a defensive stronghold from Element 7, but my goodness, that one could not have been much closer by the end of this. They'll win this one with a 1-goal margin, and how many shots Evo Vagabond took, I really feel like it's only a matter of time before Vagabond starts to really take over some of these games with their accuracy.
Yeah, I agree with that. It was an amazing first game, but remember, it's a best of 7, so there's a long way to go here. They may just be looking and to feel each other out. Evo Vagabond might be holding back. Give them the first game. Let them get that confidence up so that they get overconfident in Element 7 and Evo Vagabond come back and steal the game. We'll see how it turns out in the next couple games.
As you said as well, it's been one of those battles where it's going to be tough to determine who wins this thing. I mean, they went to Game 7 last time around. I feel like this series is shaping up to go to Game 7 again. So far we have not seen a Game 7 on this stream in any final bracket match for. I think this is maybe the second season in a row we haven't had a Game 7. So we've been without Game 7 in an ATS League final bracket match for quite a while. I feel like this is a match that could definitely break that streak of no Game 7s.
Especially with their history of already having a Game 7 under their belt. Stellar pops it up. Nagy's there. Nagy tries to intercept the ball. He does take possession, but Cypher's there, able to get the clear back over into Element 7's territory. But Stellar takes it from the corner. Met with opposition. Let's see what happens here. Cypher with the defense. As many shots as Element 7. Element 7 has great accuracy, but if that defensive line can keep them from finding the net, that's what they really need to do in this second game for Evo Vagabond.
Yeah, they gotta keep the play going, as here goes Dante. Oh, he just missed that one. Right in front of the net, too. He was absolutely in the perfect spot to shoot that. But it will miss the target. Krusty might be dying out here. I think Krusty's poor heart is dying out here again. That one was so close. I think everybody out there wanted to see that one go in, but it will just miss the nets, and Dante's still trying. Saved away by Zan. Vagabond came that close to scoring that quickly in this game, and had that one gone in, that would have been a complete series changer.
I agree. Wow. Like, I'm just moving in my seat, trying to make it go in for him, just not able to. Stellar, though, comes back, gets that first goal for Evo Vagabond. That's what we want to see this second game. We want to see Evo Vagabond score early and score often if they're going to take this to Game 7. If they're going to win and move on, they have to put that action into a practice right now.
Yeah, as you said as well, they've got to get things going. They've got to get moving here. Nagy, flip reset. Cypher to clear, and it's a very low boost for Stellar, but we'll be back in time as with room, and two players from Vagabond on top of him here. He's done a very good job at outplaying, and now goes Nagi! Sand! Save away by Osclo. Okay, Dante won't get it. Stellar now up the corner. Dante flicks this one high. Nagi keeps this going. Okay, Dante will be ready. And in goes Stellar, this Vagabond roster. Like many people remember this Vagabond roster for their impeccable win against 100x Knight in the Paradise Cup, for our third Paradise Cup, I believe it was. The one that happened most recently in the first round of action. This is definitely a team that has proven to upset teams of higher quality before. But they do have a history of keeping things rather close as that one almost found its way in. One goal still stands, but Vagabond, my goodness. How many times can they get close without getting goals? I don't know, but it's been too many.
Yeah, it's been too many. It's to count. Oh, Stellar looking to make something happen. It gets cleared away by Oslo and K Dante. They keep the possession on. Even with that challenge there, they're keeping the ball forward momentum back into the Element 7 territory. Oslo continues to try to make something happen. K Dante comes in with the pass, team play. Nagi, ooh, what a beautiful shot. He could take the time to get the ball cleared away, but once again, Evo Vagabond wanting to keep the pressure on, keeping the ball on Element 7's territory this time, trying to keep the ball away from their net, away from their side, so that they have more opportunities to try to find the back of that net and to score.
Time running out here, only a 1-goal margin. As I mentioned before, we haven't had a Game 7 this season. We had one in the Pinnacle Cup, so we've had Game 7s before, but the Apex Cup itself has never seen a Game 7 in this final bracket, so maybe we'll get one here as... Oh, that's a great bump. Well, the modern Apex Cup, I should say, hasn't had a Game 7 for... in its last season or even the season before, and right now these teams battling for hope is Stellar. Midfield, Dante to clear. Zan will be ready for it as Dante again around the corner, Nagi to clear. Element 7, from how high-flying they were last game, have not had a single goal this game. They've had very few opportunities to shoot in the first place. And with time running out, they may only get a few more, if at all here. Time running down, and so too are their chances of going up 2-0 in this series.
Does look like a little bit of a different team for Evo Vagabond. They're not allowing the opportunity from Element 7 to be able to keep the ball close to make those shots close by the net. They keep banging the ball out or keeping the ball on their territory, keeping the challenge on, the pressure on. So, there's an opportunity. Able to get the ball cleared away. Nagi continues to keep the pressure on, but they're looking to get the ball cleared away for Evo Vagabond. They do so. Zan is there, but once again, Osclo is there to get the ball cleared away, trying to make a goal happen, but Nagi's there, able to make the save.
The options continue here as it's Zan with one last chance. Nagi won't get to it. Evo Vagabond will win game 2. Not usually how you see Evo Vagabond win matches, with it being a 1-goal margin, but they'll take them how they come. 1 goal is more than enough for what they need to do here, and it's a tied-up series here, Krusty, so these teams going back and forth. I don't think we're at all surprised that this match would be this close. Now the question is, who takes that advantage now as both these teams have had enough time to learn about each other tonight.
Yeah, that's true. We have a raid coming in by Beast for the party at 6, so we're grateful for the people coming out and tuning in to watch this amazing match. We're 1 game apiece for Evo Vagabond and Element 7. I can't wait to see who takes the advantage with this, the 3rd game, and see if Element 7 this time, in this minute, is able to change their idea of a gameplay, come up with some ideas to see how they will fight back against Evo Vagabond.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna be interested in seeing how things go here, but the action continues, the matches continue, the play continues here as we go into game number 3. Evo Vagabond, Element 7, and a 1-1 tied series. Everything to play for and everything to lose in this matchup. The match continues, the series continues, these teams continue their run, but only one of them can make top 4. That's the sad thing about this Apex Cup. There's so many good teams this season, but you know, only so few of them can actually make it further in this tournament.
Ooh, what a nice cheat, but also opportunity to score. Didn't hit the net, went off to the side slightly, but it was a great opportunity for a kickoff goal.
And you'll need every goal you can get here from what we saw last game. A 1-goal margin may be all these teams have to win it. As Element 7 looking to be the ones on top first. They didn't get the first goal last game, and their offense just could not seem to find opportunities for itself. Could not find consistent play upfield. It's going to be a tough thing here against Vagabond, but it is very doable with the way that Element 7 can play. As Zan, blocked by Dante, Nagi will be saved away as Oslo will hold this one. Challenged by Zan. And Nagi will take it away here. Element 7 stick with this one, but looking for even more time to play with. Nagi's got space. He's got to play in front. He's looking for the bump too. The shot's on. They missed. Zan, open and in. Element 7 score first.
What a great shot. What a great play that was. So exciting with the demo, creating an opportunity in the space. And Zan coming in, cleaning up from aisle 7, getting the, being in the right place at the right time, just to make sure that that goes into the net. Love to see that kind of play. Nagi gets a good kickoff, takes possession. Dante's there, off the backboard, gets it up in the air, gets it past Zan, looking to get it past Stellar, not able to. Cypher's there, but Zan gets a nice bang of the ball, gets it cleared away, tries to get to Stellar. A little bit of a miscommunication there by Stellar where he needed to be. Nagi has the ball up in the zone corner. Cypher trying to keep the pressure on, but Zan gets the ball past the two of them as they double committed. Okay, Dante up in the air. Let's see what he's able to do. Gets it past, but Zan's waiting to be able to defend the net. Zan with a great shot, tries to make something happen, but Osco's there, able to make the save. This game is even a different speed than game 2, I would say. Once again, they're changed up their gameplay, both teams, just slightly for this game 3.
Reserved now. It wasn't as reserved as game 2 was, but it's a little bit more reserved than what we saw in game 1, and that's gonna fall in! Oh my goodness, Dante was hunting for that one, and it will just trickle through. Zan getting chased by Cypher, then getting pinned back by Dante. Element 7 getting absolutely pushed out to the side, and it's Evil Vagabond to benefit.
Nagi takes possession of the ball on that kickoff, tries to make it into the goal, gets it past one, passes it back to Stellar. Two people in the net, able to make the defense, get the ball cleared away. Dante seemed to try to pass it himself, got a little bit ahead of the ball. Here's an opportunity for Cypher to keep the pressure on, but Stellar, with that defense, goes off the sidewall. Once again, K. Dante's there, answers the call. Zan with a catch. Gets the ball cleared away, but K. Dante's there, able to intercept the ball. And once again, still on the backboard. It's nice to see the backboard. Sometimes it's overplayed, but here they are. They're doing a good job and tried to get it cleared away, but Osco kept the pressure on and found the net in that bottom right-hand corner. What a beautiful shot. Beautiful way to change how it looked like he was rotating back, but saw the opportunity, changed quickly, and was able to use that opportunity to score.
Yeah, that play is made by Cypher, challenging in the corner, forcing them to move, forcing them to commit. That's not what they wanted, that's not what Element 7 wanted, but it was what they were forced to do. And now Vagabond have the lead and are looking for more. Cypher, everybody's jumping in here. Oslo's the only one back, but he'll go anyways, as he'll take the challenge away from Zan. Nagi missed on this! It's in front of the net! Who's there? Nobody! Stellar will have an easy clear. And Vagabond, a great chance, but no one there to capitalize. Now they pass it, bam! Dante scores! And if I'm not wrong, he pre-jumped that pass. It's Evil Vagabond on the same line of communication, and no chance for Element 7 to read it.
What a beautiful shot. What a beautiful team play. as you say, K Dante pre-jumped it, had to have some good comms from Cypher. Looking good for them. 3 up by 2, 3-1 in favor of Evo Vagabond. How will Element 7 respond to this? Will this be Evo Vagabond getting into Element 7's head? Or will they be able to respond, ending that 2-goal lead? And it doesn't look like it. Cypher just easily kind of gets a tap there and finds the net.
Just shoot the ball in the net, and sometimes it works. Sometimes it just works if you shoot at the nets.
Hit ball, hit ball right in net.
I mean, hey, it's always something that you'll see these players do just to add pressure, but sometimes it works, sometimes it falls in, and sometimes you get a little bit fortunate here. And for Vagabond, that fortune continues in a game 3 that has been, well, it's been theirs the last half of this game, and they're not exactly looking to let this thing die down anyway. Osclo, they're back by Zan. Element 7, may not be in their element anymore here with how things have looked. Game 1 was theirs, and ever since then, Vagabond have had their number, and it has only gotten tougher for them. Now, the question I think you have to ask is, does Element 7 use that tactical timeout? They have one. Every team has one per series. Do you use it now and hope to reset this game, make some adjustments, or do you try to, bite the bullet and see if you can make the changes on the fly?
Personally would use it. I think it's always good to change the momentum of the game, and as we see right now, the momentum has been with Evo Vagabond, so I think this would be a perfect time for Element 7 to use it. Often I feel like teams wait too late to use it, and so I think they should go ahead and take that opportunity. But with that, Stellar comes up and gets a nice double tap in, the kind of double commit there, but it made it work, and it's good to see. They're just within 2 with 19 seconds. It's doable if they got some kickoff goals.
Kickoff, Nagi will take to the skies, and he gets past one. Dante, the last one back. Nagi gets him out of the way, but Lampa will not slow him down, and now Dante will have his own dribble. Cypher to clear. Nagi waits back. Big clear out to Stellar, blocked by Osclo. And Evo Vagabond will win this game. No more goals needed. No more goals scored. Through 3 games, Evo Vagabond will take the 2-1 lead, and as expected, Element 7 are taking their tactical timeout.
I think that's a smart move on their part. They have that momentum change that already happened. I'd like to see them in that last game, and if you saw in that, when they were trying to make for that last goal that did not go in, I wish their team would have been a little bit closer and not so spread out on the field. Even though I'm usually a proponent for having really good field coverage, I would have liked them to play up a little bit more in that opportunity.
Yeah, they tried their hardest at the end of this game, but simply put, Evo Vagabond picking up speed, and it's Dante specifically today that's been having a stellar performance. 2 goals this game and an assist. He's been solid every single game that Vagabond have won. Dante is not surprising to me that he'd have a good performance tonight, but considering what Oslo's been doing this season, I'm impressed that their roles have kind of reversed a little bit more. Oslo's still been playing really aggressively, but you've been seeing Dante really take a lot of the plays off of Oslo, in that he's taking the shots and allowing Oslo to take more of a demo role on the scene, where you often see Osclo kind of leave the play, go for bumps in front. You see Dante do it sometimes. He almost got a goal. He got a goal for doing it at one point in that game. So we're seeing a lot more demo assists from Evo Vagabond. So expect to see more of that from Dante and Osclo as they work together.
Yeah, I also like to see how Cypher is also doing a good job with assists. I'm a good proponent of a team play. I love a passing play. I love team plays. So I am grateful to see that there's a lot of team plays going on here. It's not just solo plays, though we've seen plenty of those as well. And so I think as they work as a team, as they communicate really well together, they can continue to be a dominant force against Element 7. Again, I think Element 7 can come back, bring this to Game 7. I think they've done a great job as well. I think they need to go back to that same style that they've had in Game 1, coming out really fierce and fast right off out of the gate and being able to score quickly.
Yeah, you definitely feel like you kind of lost a lot of that aggression, that kind of ferocity that Element 7 brought earlier on in this series. And now the pressure is on them. Down 2-1, having lost your last game, very tough, means the play is on them to perform. Element 7 have a good amount of work to do, but We know they can do it. The question is not if they can do it, it's will they do it, and will they get things done? We go to game number 4, and after using their tactical timeout, things are going to slow down for a little bit here. This is where Element 7 need to make things going, because if they can't win after their timeout, I don't know if they're going to win at all against Vagabond.
Oh, thought for sure that was going in the net, but it did not. I think it was a lag spike on my side. Nagi has good possession of the ball. Oslo comes back, spawns in, able to get a good touch of the ball. Zan comes in, gets the first goal of game 4 for Element 7. Good to see them come out and have that momentum right at the beginning. Hopefully it can change their mindset and get them moving forward so more goals can be scored by them this game.
The offense is not over, the pressure is not over, the whole entire tournament is still not over here, but these teams, I'm sure, know that they've got a lot they have to do still here as the play continues. Will be rolling to the corner. Shot midfield. Oslo trying to sneak one by, and it will be collected by Zan as he'll have a challenge with Cypher. Dante is there as well. Nagi's there, and so does Stellar. And wanted to mention as well is this, the later the series goes, the more likely we are going to see, Retro potentially get involved in this matchup. He's their usual starter on this roster. Cypher is subbing in for him, but Retro is available tonight. As the longer the series go, the more chance we'll have to see Retro play, and if this team plays with Retro, that's a whole different Vagabond, and a much scarier Vagabond as well.
I'd love to see, because I know that I notice these things, but Zane changed his car, and I also like to see that. I know that's kind of superstitious, but if you're not playing well to change your car sometimes, that sometimes also gives you the momentum, the change you need to be able to make something happen. And so I think we're seeing that a little bit here. A little bit interesting gameplay, a little bit more sloppy as they're taking a little bit more risk, but it's working right now as they continue to keep the pressure on. Low scoring game so far, but we'll see as we finish off this game 4.
Nagi to clear. He's got space, and Element 7 already up by 1. No, they can put the pressure on Vagabond. Missed by Dante! Oh, it's off the bar, and it will be in front. Nagi can't jump in, and now it goes the other way. Dante to the back row. We'll try to force a miss out of Stellar. Let's clear it back. Everybody's up! It's a wide open net, and Oslo will say thank you very much.
Oh, I hate that for Element 7. You hate when that happens. I'm right there, once again, in really good positioning. I think he heard when I was saying, come up closer, when you have the opportunity, even though he's from Team Vagabond. It's good to see that shot, that he was right in that good rotation to be able to make that play happen. Cypher coming on strong right afterwards, answering it, punishing them, bringing it 2-1. For Team Evo Vagabond.
The series only continues onward here. Half the game still to go, but Evo Vagabond looking for match points here. Stellar will win the challenge. After using that tactical timeout to Element 7, this feels like this is the game they need to win. There's no real questions about it. And so far, Vagabond are the ones that hold that lead, and we know before, this team can hold a lead quite well, but it's pinched back. Cypher is there. Stellar, midfield. This one is bounced into Zan, and it's tied again. It was a little chaotic for Evo Vagabond, a little bit sloppy too. And that ball just fell right to Zan, and from that distance, there's no chance he's missing.
Yeah, what a wonderful shot. Once again, he's made both the goals so far in this game for Element 7. He's really coming on strong in this game 4. He's hungry. They want it. Element 7 want to show that they can beat Team Evo Vagabond.
The play continues in front of the nets. That one nearly striking through, but still plays for Nagi. Saved by Cypher, who will back up into that one. Element 7, maybe not as fast as they were before, but definitely faster. The difference, though, is they're way more willing to be physical. They're way more willing to get in the face of Vagabond, and that's something that we haven't seen them do a lot of since game 1. A lot more in your face, a lot more in your aggression. And something that Vagabond, well, is going to have to get used to, because that's something that Element 7 can do, as that's an overcommit and a 3-2 lead. Nagi caught Vagabond asleep, and that one slowly trundled its way to the net.
Yeah, they just were not prepared for that. Had no clue. Didn't even see that as a possibility. And Cypher just wasn't able to get back in time for that. Great job by Element 7.
Nagi.
Nagi with a nice kickoff. Able to keep possession. Cypher there. Passes it to Osclo. Osclo can get a back pass off the side while the K Dante goes for the double tap. Not able to get it in. Give it an opportunity for Nagi to get the ball back onto Vagabond's side. Keeping the pressure on Team Vagabond. Team Evo Vagabond.
It's just a couple whiffs in front of net here. Low boost for everybody on Team Evo. Only one really with anything is right now is Dante, and there goes all the boost he has. So now they're stuck, and there's not much they can do. Element 7 have the will on their side, and they've got Zan at the net. A 4-2 lead.
What a beautiful job. That's his hat trick for this game. So it's good to see. It's amazing. They've changed their play style once again. That timeout seems to re-energize them, to give them the strength they need to be able to score and to dominate this game 4. 42 seconds left to go. Will Team Evo be able to respond to get those 2 points, bringing us to an overtime? We have not seen an overtime yet in this matchup.
2 goals is tough to do at this kind of time, but you know it is possible. And you know Vagabond can do it, but they'll need some plays, and this is one! Cypher finds the net. Vagabond capitalized on a mistake.
People talk about the cast or curse. I find that teams, when I talk about them, they find that gives them the buff, the crusty buff.
So little time to
And
go.
Cyber was able to find them.
So little time to go, but a goal still possible. Cypher again, 1-on-1. This one is kept out to the side, and he'll stay with it too. Everybody from Element 7 could have in that same corner right now, but they'll clear it out as it's Nagi. Dante bumped into the boost. Element 7 cannot overcommit, and they're not choosing to either. As Dante to Osclo, that's the guy you want on this thing, but it's cleared away by Nagi. And a 1-goal difference again separates these two. We've got yet another tied series as our best of 7 has now turned into a best of 3.
It looks like, if I saw that correctly in the match, it looks like Retro might be able to sub in. He has joined the match. It'll be interesting, like you've said, how that changes the dynamic.
Yeah, especially, I mean, Retro's one of their starters. He's been their starter since that upper round 1 matchup. They know how to play around Retro very well here. And I mean, it was a change they made late. It was a baffling change to a lot of people because they were undefeated, and yet they made that change and immediately went on that run in the upper bracket. So we know that Retro, a solid player on his own right, he's going to shake things up here. He's going to add an adjustment to Evo Vagabond, and they're going to use the best of it because Retro plays with his team quite well, even though he is quite new.
I also wonder how he is feeling after that 1v1 tournament. And so hopefully he comes into this with a good mindset and a good mentality. So much of this game is all about a mentality and being able to have that clear mind to see the plays, to see the opportunities at hand. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. I'm excited.
Well, I am too, and I know Retro is going to be excited as well. Subbing in for Cypher, who himself has already had a pretty good performance in this quarterfinals to begin with. But it's tied at 2-2, and we have match point determined by this game. Doesn't get much more exciting than this here, Krusty. You know, you talk about a whole series coming down to a game or two. This is a game that you need to win. Match point determined by this, and that's a big advantage for both these sides, an advantage that likely could win you this series.
Yeah, I can't wait to see who wins this, as we've said. And it feels like, even though in the last matchup, Team Evo did score first, I think oftentimes whoever scores first does set the momentum for the game, and so it'll be interesting to see. That was just a missed opportunity. The defense there is outrageous by Element 7. They keep doing a good job. I'm just, like, amazed.
Yeah, I don't know how Stellar got to that one, but he found a way. It's just a continuation of the defense we've seen, and now it's an open net, and now it's Nagi! Element 7! The defense will not be in vain. Sailor sets up the play for Nagi, and it's wide open. Retro was nowhere to be found.
But what a great play. What an opportunity they saw. Took advantage of it, punishing Evo Vagabond with that. Dante off the backboard. Let's see what he's going to be able to do. Goes, gets intercepted, gets challenged by Element 7. Retro tries to make something happen, but not able to get it past Nagi. Nagi's keeping the pressure up. Stellar sees an opportunity, comes in and scores, and they're up 2-0 now for Element 7. That timeout really did help them.
And a rare mistake from Oslo too. He rarely makes a play on that kind of opportunity, but that's a big one. And a 2-0 lead now this early in your series, in your game, it could spell disaster for Evo Vagabond. 2-0 up, and simply put, they are not slowing down. That's a big advantage. And considering that a mistake was part of the reason it came, you know, Evo Vagabond more than anyone else wants to turn this around, because my goodness, it really felt like that's Element 7 got themselves up here because of Vagabond and not the other way around.
Bensky noticed that Retro's in the game and thinking that they've been saved, but so far, that's the thing when you sub someone in. Sometimes it takes a little bit just to get back into playing from that mindset of 1s versus 3s, and so it looks like Retros might be having a little bit of that going on with Element 7 being so dominant right now.
Retro himself, a veteran at this point in the Ascent Tournament Series. He's been in the Apex Cup multiple times, even in the older version of the Apex Cup. So he knows what he was here, but he was not here last season, if I'm not incorrect, as that player. So he had a season off. He's come back into this season, late this season, to try to find a victory that's been eluding him ever since his first tournament. I believe that was in ATS Season 2 or Season 1. He has not won ever in ATS. He's looking for a first. And you really feel like Vagabond as a team that he can do it on. He's one of as a player who can definitely rotate around, the players around him here, but he's got to find plays. That shot will be saved by Zan. Evo Vagabond right now, their first game of Retro has not started off well. No goals yet, and Element 7 could take match points going into Game 6 with Evo Vagabond put under the pressure, under the microscope, needing to win 2 in a row. That's a tough thing to do for Evo Vagabond, and subbing in Retro, you hope that doesn't make things even worse for them.
Yeah, Evo is such a great org, has such strong teams. I think it would be an upset, definitely, if Element 7 wins this. But with how Element 7 has come out and been playing, I see it as a strong possibility. Retro has that ball, gets it past one, tries to get it to Oslo, but it gets challenged by Stellar. Nagi now with the ball gets it into the corner of Team Evo, trying to make a play happen, but Oslo defends. Zan trying to make something happen. Oh, Stellar just not able to get that angle correct, misses the opportunity. Nagi continues to keep the pressure on Team Evo. Retro takes his time, but Zan is there, gets it in front of the net, but none of his teammates were there to follow up from. They had already rotated back.
And Vagabond just trying to find each other. Infield pass, that one dings off the bar. Stellar got a piece of that one. And I think it's been noticeable here. Vagabond have really slowed down this game. Literally, their speed has definitely slowed down. It's decreased. This is a team that's trying to play a lot more slower, a lot more controlled. And I don't mind it. The problem, though, is you can't play slow when you're down 2 goals in a game like this. You need to play fast. You need to play with speed. And it just feels like Vagabond don't have that sense of urgency.
Yeah, they don't, and you see a lot more physical plays here by Element 7 and a lot more demos, and with that, Oslo comes in and is able to score, and so maybe they're hearing us, they're starting to speed it up, trying to make something happen, and it's good to see. Now we're within 1 with 25 seconds. It's doable, but as we've said before, it's hard at this level to get that goal in with such a small time.
We've seen Element 7 do some pretty crazy things on the goal line. No shot is ever truly guaranteed to go in against them. And Element 7 like to keep it that way. In front of the net. Dante won't read it, but it is Oslo who's waiting. Zan just wasting out every single second he can. Will get an extra touch on it too. Osclo will keep it alive. They're gonna go across the field. Stellar's been outplayed. Dante is up. Here goes Retro. Nagi to block. Osclo, he's got room. He missed it though. A missed touch from Osclo, and Element 7 have match points.
That is just crazy. I know you called it from the very beginning that you thought Element 7 had what it takes to get the win, and here we are on match point as we go into game 6. And so they've just been really dominant ever since they took that timeout. But I did see at the very end of this game, Team Evo Vagabond changing it up a little bit, getting a little bit more organized, and so maybe Retro is getting that mindset changed over from the one tournament he was just in into this, and maybe this next game they'll win and bring us to Game 7.
Love to see a Game 7 here in the Apex Cup, but something else that's also been interesting at the end of this game, Evo Vagabond have used their tactical timeout now. They've held on to it for the entirety of the series so far, but now with everything against them, with their backs against the wall, this is a good time to use the timeout. Might as well use it now, because if you aren't using it here, you aren't using it ever. And you even know that they can beat Element 7. It's very doable. But they're going to need to go to Game 7 to do it. They're going to need to do a lot to get there. They've got to make sure they get the job done. They've also got to make sure that this timeout works well for them.
Sorry about that. I just flaked out. I'm so busy. This map is distracting for me. I don't know if you find it, but I just been looking at the background, and I totally forgot to talk. But yeah, as we finish out this timeout, that really needs to be an opportunity for Evo Vagabond to come back, to change up their game style at this point, their way of playing, and that's things I love about Rocket League and players in general, how they're able to take just such a short time and really change, and the flexibility with that. And we've seen it. We've seen it with Element 7 earlier. I think Team Evo can do it here. I think this might be what they need to make a game plan to go into Game 7.
Well, with the timeout now officially over, we go to Game 6 here in Team Evo Vagabond. The only Team Evo side left in this top 8. Element 7 are only one win away from taking them down and advancing to the semifinals. But Evo Vagabond now, hot off a tactical timeout, have had time to talk, have had time to acclimate to getting Retro back on their roster again. This is where they've got to perform and send this series to Champions Field.
Zan up in the air, passing it to Nagi. Nagi trying to make something happen. K Dante's there, off the backboard. Gets it to Oslo. Oslo tries to bag it out, but Zan is there, able to take possession, but Retro comes in, intercepts the ball. Stellar and K Dante there with a good 50. K Dante looking to get the ball, and he scores that. What a bang shot. There's another opportunity right there. I thought Retro was going to take that for sure, but he just held off. K Dante must have called it, had a great shot, had a great opportunity, and took it and scored, bringing it 1-0 in favor of Team Evo right off the bat.
We have seen Vagabond do a lot of that so far this series, where they just take long shots and they have sometimes fallen through. That's an important one as well, an early lead, and you mentioned it already, that early lead has oftentimes determined who's going to win these games, and that means for Evo Vagabond, they've got a major advantage here as Nagi saved away. Zan's on the other side. He's got Nagi's in a play, but he'll got the net instead. It's in front. Calamity there. Nagi can't take it, and now he's taking it around his own teammate. Nagi with the ball still. Flipper reset. Nagi again will miss the net entirely. Zan will stay next to it, and he's got to play infield. Stellar rolling shot saved by Retro. And this one will bounce for Nagi. Past one, as Zan waiting will look for the challenge against Osclo. But it will be kept down and away. Osclo can't get by them all, but will at least get offense for Evo Vagabond. And the more time they spend in this orange side of the field, the less opportunities it is for Element 7 to come back.
Yeah, and that's the key. Like, they keep the pressure on, keep the ball away from your net. The more it's in front of the net, the more opportunities it has to go into your net. I love plays that are not, and there it is. Zan had an opportunity right in front of Team Vagabond's net, and it's 8 find it, that's really hard to keep the ball out of your net when it's always being challenged. That pressure is on. You're gonna make a mistake, and that's what we saw right there.
The pressure's on. Element 7 have been all about the pressure tonight in these last couple of games, and it has not changed here, as now play given away. Oh, what a great demo from Dante, and now that net is there. Oh, but that's a perfect spawn for Stellar, and Element 7 will have this one, but not for long. Osclo, with a little help from Dante, Zan and Stellar both commit, but Zan will recover to it, and now he's got a run on the ball. Well, not get around Osclo, though. This one's cleared all the way back for Element 7 to handle. Nagi to clear. Zan, well, another demo here will leave things a little bit more open as it's a play midfield. Saved away, it's Dante, and it's a dribble upfield. He's got around Nagi. One last touch, can't make it. Shot! Scores! Osclo will take it. Nagi was looking, but it was Dante who played the distraction.
I gotta love. I think Oscar gets the award for best teammate. He is always there where he needs to be to make the team play happen. I love seeing that. I love that positioning. Stellar up in the air, trying to get it past one, but Dante's there, able to get a good position of first touch. Retro gets a good touch as well, but Zan is there, able to defend. Oslo tries to make something happen, but Nagi takes possession of the ball. Retro's there in front of the net, gets demoed for his efforts by Stellar. A lot more physical gameplay here in this game.
Yeah, these teams, I think, have very quickly realized you're not good at defense in any conventional way, so you gotta get in their face and you gotta get aggressive. These teams have got good enough defense. Everybody in this top 8 has a defense that can play well. Now it's about being able to put that to good use here. As I like that play from Oslo. Nagi taken out of the field. Retro off the ceiling. Won't have another. Stellar won't have it either, but it's Zan who will take. Shots! Oh, what a play! Conte finds an angle, and it is 3-1 in favor of Vagabond.
What a job. What a great job. And that's the thing, right? Like, when you're at this level of gameplay, you have to make opportunities. You have to make your own opportunities, and that's often what that physical gameplay does for you with the bumps and the demos. It provides an opening where you can make those plays. Gives you the freedom to move.
You need that.
So I love to see that.
Late in this game, you need that space. Any space is good space for any of these teams. At least that's what they're fighting for here. That's a big demo. Stellar, he's got time, and he's got Dante who will give him no more time. As Zan plays ahead, looking for the bump. Nagi got chased down by Retro and Dante. Stellar, going the wrong direction now. Element 7 a little bit close to their nets, and Osclo, why not? 4-1, he just goes for it. And it will work in his favor. Evo Vagabond almost certainly have guaranteed this series is going to Game 7 now.
If we don't go to Game 7, something dramatic has happened for Element 7. So our prediction to go to Game 7, it looks like it's going to happen. What an exciting night of Rocket League. What a great way to start the Apex playoff final run tonight with this quarterfinal match.
Yeah, it's only just the quarterfinals. We still got 2 more matches after this one, so we're going to be here all night long, and we're going to be seeing this kind of stuff all night long as it's a play across. Nagi plays it in front. Retro to clear. In goes Zan as less than 30 seconds left. Element 7 at this point just trying to play for any sort of consolation goal before we go to Game 7. Anything positive going into the last match of this series, knowing that will determine if you go on or if you're out of the playoffs. As they'll go from the backfield. Stellar immediately denied by Dante. We've seen Vagabond just suffocate Element 7. The demos, the challenges, everything from Evo Vagabond has been perfect. They have been impossible to keep out.
What a great game that was. Both teams, as we've noticed, have taken their tactical timeouts, and both teams have been able to respond to that and come back stronger than ever. I hate when you come into playoff situations and teams don't use their timeouts. I think they really are a way to change your gameplay and to change the momentum of the game, and so it's so good to see both of these teams having used it and that it worked in their favor, at least for a time being. I'm looking forward to what happens in this Game 7. It all comes down to this, and it's exciting. I love a Game 7 when it's not my team's playing.
Well, fortunately, these aren't your teams, and they are going to Game 7. They did it before. They will do it again here in this matchup. So the epic action continues, and I mean, the winner of this matchup will play against Phoenix United Ghost in the semifinals. They won their match against Mishmash Gaming 4-1. So Phoenix United are the upcoming matchup for both these teams. Evil Vagabond, Element 7. Everything comes down to this. They went to Game 7. It was Vagabond who won before, but Element 7, they've gotten better recently. They've really had a successful run not in the last couple of weeks. And it's, you got to put it all together. But Vagabond have momentum here, Krusty. That's a big importance right now, is that they have momentum.
Looks like we have a little bit of a technical issue. One of the players is restarting his game. So, but yeah, and that's going into this Game 7. The momentum is definitely with Team Evo. It'll be exciting to see how they keep that up, how they're able to capitalize on that, if they're able to take that in and to win the whole series, or are we going to have a low-scoring game once again, as we've had some of the other ones where it's just a one-goal game and their defense, because both teams have such strong defenses, if they're able to build that wall and keep the balls out of the net.
Game 7, you said defense is key. Defense is going to be majorly key. And yeah, we are back. We're so back. We're back, everybody. And we're ready to get things going. Game 7 of the Apex Cup. Here we go. It's Champions Field. And a spot on the semifinals awaits. Evo Vagabond, Element 7. They've battled here before, but that was to stay in the upper bracket of the final bracket qualifier. It's single elimination here. You win and you move on. You lose and you're out. It's that simple, and it's that obvious. But it is in no part easy for either of these sides.
Looking at the chat and watching how they're talking about the disconnect that we need to start the computer here, but it looks like that has not hurt either one of these teams, having that extra time in between. Zan gets a nice touch of the ball. Osco's there, able to defend, gets the ball back in his territory, into his corner, but Zan continues to keep the pressure. KyleG looking to make something happen. KyleG demos Zan and leaves Zan to spawn right in the right place. That has happened over and over again in this match. A lot of demos right off the bat. First minute in, I think we've already had 6 or 7 demos.
And I think that number is only going to increase. We've been seeing the demos reign all game. The offense has really relied on it recently. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more as this night continues as well. Simply put, all these teams in this final bracket, their defenses are too good to play against them in any other way. You have to go for demos. At this point, there's just not enough space in the field to really use that room unless you get it yourself. And that's what these teams are battling for. Is will be a retro on the first chance. Can't get that one a bye. Nagi will chase down Dante, but it's Stellar who is next up. 2 touch off the corner. Stellar's got room. Retro's got no boost. He can only flick this one out to Osclo. And this one sent back. A little reset here as Element 7 will take it to the skies. Nagi. Dante to the corner. This one will bounce. Not in his favor. Zan with the pinch. Osclo again. Stellar. Oh, you missed this one. Will be room for Evo Vagabond, but it's Nagi who clears. And it's Element 7 who keep the play going. Unlike Evo Vagabond, they didn't have to make any changes this season. It was the same 3 players at the start of the season. It's the same 3 players who end this season. Evo Vagabond themselves switching out Cypher for Retro in the final bracket qualifier. Gonna find a better version of themselves. It would be a tragedy if that better version were to end here in the top 8.
Positioning there by Osco and KyleG, but able to convert on that. They're right there in front of the net. They're trying to make a play happen in Element 7's territory. KyleG once again just denied the opportunity to find the net, but Retro's keeping the pressure on. Nagi looking to make the clear, but Osco once again is right there. Passes it to KyleG, but Stellar comes down, basically lands him right on top of him, able to recover well and be able to take possession of the ball. Retro gets a bang, and Zan's there, able to take possession, goes up in the air, flies it back. KyleG's there, able to challenge and get possession until Stellar redirects the ball back over into Team Evo's territory.
And those flip resets, we saw a chance earlier. Those are going to be tough to defend. Advance! Evo Vagabond! Strike late! And a 1-goal lead that we've seen them hold before. They have it here in Game 7 in the do-or-die moments. 1 minute, 42 seconds left. It's all in Vagabond's hand.
That was so exciting. It's such an exciting place to be in Game 7. Every shot, every goal, and we get over halftime into this match before we get a goal in, and to see it come in like that, such a beautiful shot. K Dante looking to make another one happen, and once again we see a long shot go right in the net for Team Evo. With these shots continuing to go in over and over again, they're doing their Cocos training, and my teams always laugh at me. Why are you always on the Cocos? Right here tonight, we've seen how Cocos in that having a good aim, being able to bang the ball and have no one in front of the net because they're not expecting it, means the difference in a game sometimes.
Toughest shots are oftentimes also the least complicated ones. Evo Vagabond are only a minute away from the top 4, and they look for even more. One more girl surely secures their spot. Element 7 in full desperation. Nagi, reset, blocked by Retro. Will be Oscar to clear. Stellar keeps it alive. As in goes Kate Dante. Time is running out. Offense still in favor of Vagabond.
I love to see this. It looks like Phoenix in the chat thinks that whoever scored first has won every game. That's not true in this series. It has not been that way, but this time it is true in this game because Dante has been very strong in this game, and this is Team Evo Vagabond's opportunity to bring it home. They want this. They're hungry. They want to keep that undefeated run going all the way to the final.
Well, they've definitely got it in their favor here. 30 seconds to go. Is this just a formality at this point? Element 7, a team I mentioned before the stream that had a very good chance at winning this matchup. But that change out for Retro, it started slow at first, but it's picked up speed. They'll get a goal the other way. No, they won't. Nagi missed a wide open net. They won't even leave with the goal here. That shot dings off the post, and it really is the epitome of the end of the series here. Element 7, a missed opportunity of missed opportunities. One more will go in, but at this point, it's all just too late. There's 6 seconds to go. The Team Evo Vagabond have guaranteed their spot to the top 4 to take on Phoenix United.
And K Dante really gave that to them, being able to redirect it right into the net. K still had a beautiful shot, and with that, also comes in with a kickoff goal, bringing it 4-1. Nagi has left the match with just 3 seconds left to go. They admit that they have not been able to bring this win home. That's heartbreaking from Element 7. They had it within them. They did such a good job. It was such an exciting match on their behalf.
Yeah, but unfortunately, if you can't win in Game 7, you're not going to be winning in this final bracket. Champions Field will end it, but this is series over. And it will be Team Evo who will take this one. As soon as this ball hits the floor, it will be confirmed. Retro wants one more for his vote. He won't get it, but this game is over. Evo Vagabond will take on Phoenix United Ghost up next.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. This was such an exciting match. I think both teams, it was so good to see Element 7 come back. You've said that they've played really strongly lately. You could really see that. It was great to see. I really thought in Game 7 that they were going to take it at the beginning. I'm happy for Team Evo and look forward to see how they continue their night. But thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course, and before you go, Krusty, we'll take a look at our bracket one last time here. 3 of our 4 quarterfinals have just concluded and have been sorted out before we go to a break and advance to our semifinals matchup, which will be on the other side of the bracket. Our quarterfinals here, as they've shown. Phoenix United Ghost won their match 4-1. Evo Vagabond obviously winning their match, as we just saw, 3-3. On the other side of the bracket, though, we had another Game 7 on Maxine stream. Torrent Corp taking on the Whitford Wet Jets for a second time this season. Their last time wasn't a sweep. This time it went all the way to all the distance to Game 7. And I know for a fact the last match with 100x Solis and Torrent Galleon is in Game 6 currently. So these teams will be getting things going in just a moment. But if you want to see Phoenix United Ghost and Evo Vagabond, they'll be starting off in just a few minutes on Pyro's stream at twitch.tv/Pyroblocks, Pyroblocks. We'll be taking the other match here with Torrent Corp versus Torrent or 100x Solis. And of course, before we go as well, Krusty, before you leave, do you have any shoutouts? Anything you want to say? We want to plug any socials before we go to break.
You know, I'm just grateful for leagues such as ATS who come out and provide an opportunity for teams to play in. If you're an organization and you're looking for your team to play in a league, I really appreciate ATS specifically. But all of the leagues that our teams kind of go around and play in, I love them. And so I'm grateful for you, Sporty. I'm grateful for all the work you do in our community and all the casters. The casters really bring our batches to life. And so as an org owner with 15 teams, it's amazing to be able to watch our teams play. And so I'm grateful for all the casters out there. And of course, I'm grateful for all my players. I love them dearly. And so they always shout me out as an org owner. So I want to shout out all my players. I love them so much. They make me proud every single day.
Yeah, it's unfortunate we had you shout out your players on the bracket where your players aren't playing in it, but hey, I appreciate you as well, and I appreciate Krusty Crew for all the great stuff they have done. We're going to go to a break here. The semifinals will be up next.
I remember one night in September, lying on our backs under the moon. You told me that nothing lasts forever, but I was too busy falling for you. But I should have listened, 'cause now I'm here missing you, wishing that you were here. I can blame the whole thing on bad timing. Turn back all the clocks to yesteryear. I can try to find the silver lining, but all the colors seem so dull without an ear. But I should have listened, 'cause now I'm here missing you, wishing that you were here.
You know, sometimes in life you gotta be aggressive. You know, people push you to that limit of madness. So you need the right music to do that shit. 1,000 volts and that's sick. Yeah. Let's go, pump the volume in the bass, pull the mash, show my face. White America afraid of my race. Homicidal flow killing the place. All the way up, stratosphere at my fingertips. I'm above you niggas. Look at me now, treat everything like a hair loss. I got plug for niggas. Ghetto certified credit. After the verse, you might need a medic. Women hang with the king like Coretta. My blunts come with tiny propellers. When you light it, you get excited. Are we a country? Are we divided? No communicating, everything private. But when you talk, you might get indicted. I'm so aggressive. 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 Yeah. Let's go. Homicidal flow killing the place, killing the place, killing the place. Homicidal flow killing the place, killing the place. Homicidal flow killing the place, killing the place, killing the place. Homicidal flow killing the place, killing the place. Yo, I am a monster. From my umbilical, I was a miracle, one of a kind. Look in the mirror at me, and we are not identical. Get in the Porsche, turn it to Uber, pick up a client, make him a shooter. Get to the bank, everybody hit the floor. The steady B maneuver. I keep the marijuana reeking. These women hawk like I'm Ethan. Your top 10, I'm achieving. No breathing when I'm eating. JCO, that's it. Red man on the classic. I party hard on the Atlas. Preparing y'all for the madness. I'm so aggressive. 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 Yeah. Let's go. Homicidal flow killing the place, killing the place, killing the place. Homicidal flow killing the place, killing the place. Homicidal flow killing the place, killing the place, killing the place. Homicidal flow killing the place, killing the place. Pump, 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 pump the bass, pump the volume in the bass. Pump, 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 pump the bass. Pump the volume in the bass. I am a monster. 1,000 volts.
Series Season 5 Apex Cup Championship. We're still...
Yeah, no,
We're
we did.
here.
No, I heard you.
We're
I
here.
heard you.
We lost sound for a little bit there at the start of that thing, but we're back, everybody. Semifinals is here. Torrent Corp versus Solis. We're gonna rush through this one a little bit quickly here, but let's take a look at our bracket. What's happened before? Taquito, you got to see the matchup with Solis taking on Torrent Gelion earlier tonight. Many people consider that quite an impressive upset. Talk to me about what you saw there that allows Solis now to be here in the semifinals and a chance to play for the grand finals and get a little bit of money.
So we got to call it what it is. Unfortunately, Averted's controller broke right at the beginning of the series. And so Averted had to go to the Walmart and grab a new controller in the middle of all that. And Averted did not play until game 6. And I will say, through games 2 and 3, Gelion looked really good. They were playing with Rye. It was Rye, July, and Knave. And after game 3, games 4 and 5 were really, really rough. It was tough to come back from. Solis was just on a run. And then with Averted stepping in, only having one game to play and kind of warm up and, slot into where they needed to, is a pretty hard thing to come back from. So Solis kept that pushing and running with what they had. So unfortunately, Gelion did drop to them in that series, in that game 6. And you hate to see it, but at the same time, you have to face adversity. And unfortunately, it got the better of them this time.
It definitely did. An unfortunate situation, but the show continues on. And right now, Vagabond taking on Phoenix United Ghost in the other semifinals on Pyroblocks' stream. So we'll be seeing the winner of that very soon. In fact, his match has already started. If we take a look at our rosters here, we already talked about the Solis team and what they've done to get to this point. Torrent Corp, though, coming into this tournament, we're the #1 overall seed by rank. Still one of the highest ranked teams by rank. Still a very solid team by rank, but they struggled in the final bracket qualifier, losing to Torrent Gelion, and then having to get their win over Evo Iris. They've not had an easy time here, Torrent Corp. They've struggled in playoffs. The pressure has definitely gotten to them, Taquito. And now that they're playing with the sub as well, you have a very late sub in Vayo joining this team. This is a very awkward position if you're Torrent Corp because they don't have their full roster, and they have not exactly done well in the playoff bracket.
That is true. It is tough, but we also saw a team that had to play with the sub this past time on my stream. So it's going to be up to Core to do it again for their Torrent brothers and their fallen brothers in arms there. Another Torrent team for 100x to potentially take down here in this semis. I'm ready to see it. I'm ready to get it going, dude. Let's see what we can do. Let's get them down to the pitch. I mean, because right now, I'm going to tell you, Lena is playing crazy. They got an incredible flip reset goal in the series that I saw. So the mechs are hot.
And that doesn't surprise me too much. Lena's usually the glue that keeps 100x Solis together. If they're going to have any chance of beating Torrent Corp in the semifinals, it will come down to the way Lena plays. From Torrent Corp's side, though, watch out for Bakura. He's their highest ranked player, and for good reason. Using mechanical genius. You're going to see a lot of that, and expect a lot of passes from Torrent Corp as well. This is a team that has extremely solid chemistry, albeit they are playing with a substitute, and they've already conceded. That's a goal for Neiman. Now looking at Solis, continuing what they started from the quarterfinals. They've already got one on the board.
Okay, so I need to mention this right now. Yes, by the way, production, if we can get Sporty turned up just a little bit. But this is the Solis way, dude. They pop in and they immediately start putting that pressure on an offense. Sometimes they'll get into such a groove where they do lack defense in the mid. They get too narrow-sighted on pushing that ball past the half, and that's where they concede a lot of goals, if I'm being completely honest. From what I saw in the previous series, Solis gave up quite a number of goals in open nets from the half, but it's going to be up to Torrent Corp to recognize that. Another player you got to watch out for is Demon. If Demon's locking down that defensive line, you're just not getting through.
The Solis players themselves, no stranger to earning points, to getting scores. Lena themselves, a high-level player, number 6 on overall rankings throughout the season. Demon's not too far behind, has some pretty incredible statistics of their own, but next Solis, very team-oriented. You're going to see that really utilized a lot here for this roster. So again, expect a lot of plays from these players, expect a lot overall as these players make things happen. But right now, Deco will look to get a play upfield. Daly will have the block. Torrent Corp going the other way, but it's Demon to touch, and it's Bakura with the clear. Torrent, by the way, the only org that has 2 teams in this top 8. And one of them now in the top 4 is going to make that run to the grand finals. Coming into this playoffs, everybody had Torrent Corp as the surefire #1 overall team. Now there's more questions. It's single elimination. Now everything's on and there's definitely a lot of teams that want to take them down. They're the team to beat right now. I think the Solis, a team that likes to play close to everyone, they've got a great chance of beating a very tough roster.
They absolutely do. Like you said, they upset the previous opponent in Gellion, excuse me. And they, there's a caveat, there's an asterisk. You know, they didn't really have Averted for most of the series. It is what it is. But like Solis still played amazing. Now Core is down 1 early on. We're about to approach halftime. It's just the game of playing past the midfield stripe against both these teams. You play well past the mid, I think that you're going to get a big advantage spike in your favor against your opponent. But we're not really seeing a lot of offensive ability from Core as they've kind of been shut down, truly.
That defense from Solis has been solid. Oh, that shot just ringed off the post, and that's something that Solis is so good at. They've got a solid defense. They've got a structure that's so tough to beat, but Daly will punch through. Torrent Corp find it, sneaking to the top right corner.
Yep, there you go. Like, that's just it's going to be just like that. You have to find your opportunities through traffic, by the way. Through 2. Daly puts that one in for Torrent Corp. 2-minute marking. Kickoff is favorable here for Core. They can get something going early on. That dunk is good from Deco. Bump as well on Bakura is important, but they aren't able to move the ball further up into the blue. This clear is good. Forces Solis to have to play a little bit of defense. Back pass from Daly. I like the idea of Vio back up to Daly. Little 1-2. Could not put it together. So Vio has to step back in one more time. They try to build that pressure up, but it dissipates just in that last moment.
Demon, second touch, that's on target, will be kept out by Vio. The late sub change to Torrent Corp. They very late in this final bracket, they realized they weren't going to have enough players on the day of the event, so adding in Vio, adding in a sub, it's always awkward for teams to play with, and it's not something that's unusual. But for a Torrent Corp team that's so heavily based around team rotations, team ability, not being able to play with someone that they're more used to will be a challenge, but in comes Bakura, Solis, everybody was in the corner, and nobody was covering the nets.
So here's my question. Who did Vio actually sub in for?
Vio subbing in, he subbed in for, if I get a good answer on this, subbed in for Swag. Swag,
Okay,
the
so
captain.
I was going to say the captain. I saw the symbol next to the team. So what happened to the captain?
He might be, I don't know, he's just not available today. I mean, I remember them telling me late, hey, we just realized our captain's not available. Maybe they're on vacation. I don't know. It's late August. Maybe people are on vacation. Maybe he's out enjoying.
It's Labor Day.
I don't know what he's up to, but what we can say is, whatever he's not doing, it's not being able to play in this final bracket. So, Torrent Corp themselves playing with a sub later, and Vio, albeit a high-ranked player, is going to be a little awkward for them to get used to. They did have a series to get used to this against the Whiffer Wet Jets. Now they look to prefer here against Solis as Demon will take the dribble. Lena on the follow will get around Bakura. Time running out here as Daly is denied as well. This one pinched down as Bakura to clear, kept up by Deco. 10 seconds left. Demon doesn't have boost. Vio will win the play. Lena, not enough to work with. Daly to the back wall. Deco to Lena. Missed this one. Bakura will look to let this one hit the floor. We'll want one more goal for the road, but I don't like that decision. The ball stays alive as Deco challenged, and that will end game 1. Torrent Corp will win it by a 1-goal difference.
This is kind of how I see a lot of the series at this level go is you know, you're feeling out your opponent very early on. We look at the beautiful stat sheet that they have here at the ATS. Boost consumption, pretty even. Field domination, also very even. Favor of Core. But I want to focus on that ball possession stat. If Solis is able to be more favorable with their possession when they're in their opposing players' half, that is gonna change the series more than you think it will, especially once Solis starts heating up. And that's what they did in the previous series. They started getting real hot as the series went on, especially on the side of Demon and Lana. Deco, just a rock, playing where they needed to play, but you gotta look out for that.
Yeah, you definitely mentioned it as well, that this 100x Solis team can win on possession, but it's about what they do with that possession more than just winning it. Because you can keep control against Torrent Corp. but they're still going to find ways to score against you. It's about what you do with that possession. It's about how you keep that possession. It's about how you find ways to make that possession succeed. If you can't do that, you're not going to get very far past Torrent Corp.
No, not at all. Game 2 is going to kick off here. We have a beautiful stadium. I love Forbidden Temple. This is one of my favorite, just aesthetically speaking. Gonna be up to Core to, I guess for me, I want to see them start off early with you speaking so highly of them. I also want to see 100x Solis do the thing they do again where they score first and they actually win this time. Last series, they scored first a total of 5 times and they were able to actually squeak out the win in 4 games. But the early times they won, they did end up giving it up to their opponents. So I am curious to see if they can keep this going, but that dunk right there from Daly is going to be good, and unfortunately, Demon can't get back to it in time. Daly to push it through for the first goal of Game 2.
Yeah, and a big first goal as well. You said it, a big dunk as well. The Solis roster so heavily reliant on team mentality and teamwork. If it does work, that will fall apart rather quickly for them here. So a little bit of a struggle early as the last remaining team on 135 Esports now facing the last remaining team on the Torrent Corp side as Deco will win the play. Solis looking back in, pinch in front, Bakra will keep it out. And again, pay attention to Bakra. Very mechanical, very individually sound. You'll see a lot of what he can do on his own. I mean, everybody's been talking about Bakra this season, how good he is on Torrent Corp, and I mean, you're seeing it tonight, what he can do on his own. This guy is as good as they come on Torrent Corp.
Good clear. Back to Demon. Demon needs to... I want him to slow play it, man. Switch up the possession speed. Like, slow the game down, because Core is playing lightning fast here. They're quick to everything. They get nice touches. They're setting up their players very, very well. But this clear gives a chance for Deco to get there. Loses the battle to Vio. Bakura, big shot to the back wall. Defended well. Lana... I'm sure they were going for that flip reset. Todd couldn't get the ball, and that bump is good on Bakura, but no one's able to get around it in time. Solis still, possession in the half, high shot off the back wall, not favorable for a rebound, and that's tough that they have to kind of retreat for just a moment, but they keep pounding that mid-line, and I'm telling you, again, you let them heat up, you let them start to cook, Solis will surprise you.
You don't need to tell me about how good Solis is. We've seen him a couple times this season. But I can definitely agree with you. That passing will be an issue if they connect. So far they haven't. But you know, it's only a matter of time before something finds its way through. Torrent Corp, though, they are used to playing this style. It's one of the advantages they have is that a possession-based style with teamwork as a forefront, that's something that they do as well. So it's really a battle of teams that have very similar playstyles playing against each other. The question is, who does it better? So far it's been Torrent Corp, but you know, Rex Solis, they're not too far behind. They themselves do have what it takes as Lena, flip reset, will be kept away by Daly. Demon rushing back, Deco will be first to it. Challenge won by Daly, to the corner, Deco will stay on top of things as half the game still left, and it's an opening in the midfield, a wide open net. The pass didn't connect, and Torrent Corp reading what Solis can do, have scored a second time this game in very similar fashion.
I told you at the beginning of the broadcast, Sporty, exactly what I said happens to Solis. Happens in that goal number 2. They broke down at the mid. They got too narrow-sighted on what was happening. They were trying to push too far forward. They were trying to force that goal to happen. And that look what happened. You just leave yourself wide open. Again, here it is. Wide open net. Lena having to rush back to get it. Demon, no boost. This is another thing. Their boost consumption is very high. Their boost preservation, very, very low. They do not hold on to these paths very well. Either that or they don't boost paths very well. They need that resource to get away from this Torrent Corp squad.
And they need some ways to connect to each other right now because Torrent Corp, they're so used to teams that play this way. They just played the Wet Jets, another team that plays a very pass-heavy style, and they took them down as well. 100x Solis meeting a team that plays to their advantages, plays to their style, and does it better. Torrent Corp's the team for passing, and in Game 2, it's all unraveling for Solis. This is likely a 2-0 series lead at this point, unless something drastic changes.
Hey man, they got 89 seconds left. You gonna tell me you don't see 3 goals happening in 89 seconds? They just need some solid kickoffs. Don't be so doom and gloom, Sporty. 100x Solis gotta work a little bit harder. They gotta do a little bit more, of course, but It's not impossible. They just need to put a goal in like right now. They got to get out of their half. Lena trying to kick this one off. Demon is up. That's a touch. Lena can get to it. Back wall. Deco shot. Saved well by Bakura.
He made fail. Deco will go again. Daly will catch that one. And the big difference so far is this could go in, and it will go in for 4-0 lead. The difference here is that when Solis goes for those passes, Torrent Corp is reading it. They're reading those passes perfectly. On either side, Torrent Corp really not trying as many passes, just waiting for the overcommits from Solis on their plays, and then going the other way and playing counterattack heavy. So we're not seeing the same passes from Torrent Corp. They're just playing counterattack because they can read what Solis are trying to do.
Okay, look, they scored a fourth one, and I might be with you on the doom and gloom. Because this now is infinitely harder than it was when it was 3 with just about 90 seconds left. They aren't able to really possess the ball very well against Torrent Corp. You guys are right. I mean, we are looking at the clear tournament favorites the way they are playing the squad. High off the back wall, Demon has to put it high again. Lena is jumping awkwardly. 3 people in the net. They're right there at the goal line. This is not the 100x Solis that I saw last series. They feel just a bit outclassed in this exact moment.
And it is those passes that just cannot seem to connect. They have really shut down, as you said, they've shut down Lena specifically. And that's the keystone. You need Lena on Solis. And if Lena can't seem to get plays going, this Solis team does not do well after that. So far, the answer for Torrent Corp has been get rid of Lena, make sure they can't find the passes, and they've done it well. Game 2 has been a 4-0 shutout, and already an early call for the tactical timeout. Solis need to use it here just because so far they have had no success in the first 2 games.
Yeah, especially with a game 2 being 4-0. Like, that's tough. As you can see again, field domination there by Torrent Corp. Everything else pretty 50-50. Like, boost consumption just a little bit higher on the side of Torrent Corp. Ball possession dead even. Literally, they I don't know, man. I don't know what's happening. I don't know why Solis broke down so badly here in this game number 2. This was very different from the way they looked in game 1. So no notes for Torrent Corp. They have just, like you said, they swapped from that pass heavy play style to they just started playing counterattack. They just started challenging well in the mid. They started reading a lot of the telegraph plays. They shut Lena down. It was pretty much another day in the office for these guys is what it looked like.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it. If you can shut down those passes from Solis, you beat this team as well. But Solis, again, taking their tactical timeout now, looking to make some adjustments, looking to turn things around for themselves. It's a very early call for that timeouts, and the Solis side, they're not against using it, but I think the question now have is if the passes aren't going to work, what does? Because Solis don't have a lot of backup plans when Lena can't seem to get things going. I don't know what they have as a backup. I know they have backups, but we haven't really seen them use a backup plan because so often that passing style works so well. What do they have here? What can they pull out of their bag of tricks and do that is something that they haven't done at all this season, which is get rid of the passing play style and do something other than that?
You got to be selfish. Maybe play a little solo play heavy, like look for something yourself. If you have an opportunity, instead of looking for Lena to kick off your offense, maybe Demon gets something from the half. Maybe Deco positions well and is able to challenge properly. You got to look to do something different. But I do believe our minute, let's say our minute is up. We got to get into game number 3. It's going to be a test for 100x Solis because the biggest chip in the armor or the chip on your shoulder is losing after you call a timeout. You lose the game after you call a timeout. That one just hurts your feelings.
Oh, what a shot from Demon! My goodness! How did he get that flick? Oh, let's take a little look at this one. Demon taking the ball. He landed on top of Vio, and he still found his flick. Even when he was sitting on top of another car, he still got the power on the ball. Well, you said it. They got to be a bit selfish. We know Demon and Deco can be selfish. We know these players can do it. Already a good start, and already the first time in the series that Solis, I believe it's the first time that they've taken a lead tonight and against Torrent Corp, and they'll be happy with that, although it won't last too long. Vio's already responded in Torrent Corp, letting the Solis enthusiasm last for approximately 5 seconds.
I mean, long enough for you to go, oh. I mean, it is what it is. 20 seconds into the game, we already got 2 goals. Off to a great start here. Well, great start for some people. I don't know about everybody. Deco, we'll have to play this one slow off the back wall. Good possession, but it's immediately met again by these early challenges. We are seeing Deco is not going to be able to get to that. Actually does. Wow. Lena couldn't line it up. Demon looking for the third. Deco just needs to put it back in the mid. Lena needed to get there as quickly as possible, but couldn't. But this is the 100x we're used to seeing right there. That pressure in the blue half definitely felt. Demon early on needs a little bit more. Tries to carry the ball all the way across the pitch. Needs a challenge here. Deco goes back to the mid. Lena is up. But that, again, these telegraph plays. They know it's going to happen on the side of Solis. The moment they can jump in the mid, they're going to. And it's almost as if Torrent Corp is baiting them into that option.
Solis, they just can't help themselves. They want to go for those passes, but they gotta find something different! And that difference is here! It's a demo from Demon! And if anyone's been able to make changes, it's been Demon so far. As you said, so much more selfish, so much more difference. We haven't seen so much of a reliance on passes, more so on his own individual ability. Sets up Deco, 2-1 up for Solis, and Demon's made the change. Now the question is, can Deco and Lena follow?
Big play off the back wall here. Deco needed that touch. It's going to be awkward one more time. Would not deny it long enough. Bakura says, man, you guys love taking the lead so much, but we are not going to let you enjoy it. Another 5-second woohoo into all combo, tied up with 3:35 on the clock.
We've only been 50 seconds into this game and we've already seen 4 goals. This might be number 5 as that one's just wide of the net. Demon wasn't ready. Play to Deco with open space, but that one's sent right back out by Vio. Lena challenges this. So Daly will be next, but that is straight to Deco's front bumper. Demon's there, but Deco's got the ball. Vio still got to it in time, and it's a race to the net. Bakura saved away by Demon. Follow-up shot kept out by Lena. Defense for Solis. He's got to hold on a little bit longer here as this ball will go to the back corner. And they will have all the time they need to get that ball out. Deco, all alone here, no one behind him. Will dribble this one, but Bakura to block. Demon, still moving as Demon. Challenged by Daly. Deco, to the back wall. Bakura clears it to Demon. Dunked away off the corner. It's Lena. It's a great touch. And 100x Solis. Ooh, just waiting in the midfield, a lot of possession like before, but there's a brick wall from Torrent Corp. I'm so surprised we haven't seen more demos from Solis, because simply put it, the way they're playing, they got to incorporate demos. They're not going to get through them any other way.
They've got to be able to open up the back line, and I think that's the biggest thing really hindering them. Lena throwing the ball away in that moment, and I know they weren't trying to do that, but the possession game is the name of the game against this Torrent Corp squad. Bakura challenged early. Deco really trying their best to just really get the ball away from Solis. They almost gave up another one. Did you see them having to race to defend in that moment? They're not doing well to place themselves in the best positions. Land a nice couple of touches. Daly, big save at the goal line, followed through by Bakura. No extra touches there. Full field clear. Doesn't result into much of anything. But back in the corner, Lena might get bumped. Dodges it well. Demon back to the mid. Lena up. Double down. Almost on the head. But it does need Daly. The changeup on the play does find them the lead. And Solis, again, fighting, clawing, holding on to everything they have until the moment they find to strike properly. 5 more seconds, Sporty. I'm feeling a goal 3 from Torrent Corp.
Well, they've had 2 responses so far. What's to say that they can't do a third? Well, it won't be off kickoff though, as Lena will keep this one out. Deco, oh, he almost had that touch. It almost fell in anyways. Daly will rush to the save, as it's Vio who wins it. Demo behind. Deco's out of the play, and Bakura will sub in to the corner. Back wall. Deco off the respawn will be Demon. No touch there. Vio to Bakura. This one's across. Daly can't get to it. And it will be Bakura again. Dunked anyways as Deco will play mid. Daly, that is right in front of the net. And Leno knows it, but that's a great steal away from Vio. Here's a chance midfield. Bakura can't get on the end of it here. He's been slow this game, which has been unlike him so far. And it has meant that this Torrent Corp side has had to get a bit creative as Bio double commit, save away. 30 seconds left now. Bakura getting involved. Up goes Daly. This one is on, but Lena clears it out, and Torrent Corp will reset.
They've got to do everything they can to keep the ball in the blue. Shot is there off the crossbar. Demon needed to line it up for an extra goal, but couldn't. Lena hunts for the boost. Needs to get back to it in time. Decides to go ball over boost. Beautiful play there from Lena. Beautiful decision. Touch away into space. 100x Solis just need to command the possession here. They need to keep the ball out. It touches. They have won a game just as Pyro has rated in.
It means that we've got an answer for the other semifinals here. Team Evo Vagabond have swept Phoenix United Ghost, so Vagabond's going to be watching here for to see who they will play against in that grand finals later tonight. But for Solis, a game back and a very well played game back. They needed this desperately, and gotta give credit to Demon. He's the reason they've won this game. The way they started this game was what this team needed. They needed some momentum, they needed some adjustment, and Demon was there to do it.
Yep, and Pyro is even saying right there, more to say on the desk later about that Evo 4-0. So, you're going to hear it later. You're going to hear how good that team is, but right now we're waiting on the winner of this one. 2-1 the series score. Solis finally get their first game. They get it in the swing game of the series in game 3. They did this last series. They lost 1, they won 2 in a row. Maybe they lose 2, and maybe they win 3. But the key thing is they didn't lose the game after the timeout. Very important.
Yeah, now they got to keep that momentum going. A 1-game win will not exactly slow down your opponents, but 2 games will. And that's what Solis is pushing for right here into game number 4. Our last series on this stream went to game 7, and who knows, maybe this one has it in itself to go the distance as well. But we go to game 4, and if that last game wasn't the fluke, they better prove it here.
Huh. That is one way to say it, Sporty. You're right. If it wasn't a fluke, you got to prove it again. What's the big key difference? I mean, I noticed it through the end of that game 3, but what was the big key difference you saw as Lena puts the first one in for the game 4?
Simply put, the big difference was Demon, as I mentioned already. Just allowing this team to play a much more, I would say, a much more physical, threatening style. They need to include more demos. I think they need to include even more demos than they did before, but it was a more physical early part of the game, and you said it was more selfish as well. They went for more solo plays, less on the passing. Simply put, something that Torrent Corp just hasn't prepared for yet. They haven't seen that part of 100x Solis tonight, and Solis has made the changes. You know Torrent Corp are going to make their own, but the question comes down to, again, if this Solis time can really lean into that solo physicality, and right now they have. Demon stopped by Bakura. Torrent Corp definitely sealed in their own half a lot more than they'd like to, as an infield pass saved away. There's been less overcommits from Solis too. That's really helped them out a lot as well. That was the way that Torrent Corp scored on them in the first 2 games, and now that they can't do it, they've got to do it all on their own on offense, which is a lot tougher than getting them on overcommits.
And I got to agree, that was what I was going to point out specifically. They stopped double committing. That was the biggest thing I noticed from Solis. They stopped being right next to each other, double committing on plays, and trying their best to really just force in those team plays to happen. They quit doing that. I agree, the aggression probably needs to come up from both sides, not just Solis. If Torrent Corp add a little aggression to their play, that was a great shot there from Lena again for almost 2. But if Torrent Corp starts getting aggressive, this is going to be an even scarier team than they already are.
We hear about the Torrent Corp side that has been scary for a lot of people so far. They shocked the world in the regular season when they swept the Whitford Wet Jets, a team that has since every single season since they've started has made at least top 6. This season being the first season they haven't. As Lena will get another one here. It's off the corner and poorly read by Daly. And Lena with 2 goals this game. Solis have made the adjustments happen, and now look at the success that they are reigning in.
So the big thing too is they're not using Lena to open up the offense. There should be a goal off kickoff. Yes, good sheet and play there by Vio. But Solis have not actually used Lena as the fire starter. They've used Lena on cleanup crew and position. So that's the big difference here. Lena is not leading the charge. But kickoff goals like that are going to happen. You got to clean up immediately on those. Decent cheat. Won't be able to get it. Deco, not the best touch. Finds Daly back into the corner. Deco again, no boost. Circling around, Lena's demo. Demon is able to get a touch, but is starving on the boost side. It's going to be up to Torrent Corp to kind of use this to their advantage. They got them locked down for just a little bit. Lena is awkward, does get a play out, but they aren't looking too hot in them boost holes.
And not a good touch either here, Torrent Corp. One goal down, but it really feels like it's much more than that. They just have not been able to find much. As Vayo just trying to get it away from Lena, but instead will play upfield. This one in favor of Solis as Deco running into Daly, can't get the touch, but for Solis only up by one. They know this is not exactly a clean lead for themselves, but it's enough to win this game. They're really asking Torrent Corp if they can answer back, and so far Torrent Corp have not been able to do so. 2 minutes left. Daly, sidewall. Vayo with the play around the corner with the bumper behind them. Low boost for Solis now, and this is where Torrent Corp can really make things tough. One player gets demo, but Lena, crucial clear, will give Solis all the time they need to reset.
Exactly what they needed. Lena off the corner. Another one here. Deco, bad touch. This is going to be awkward for Demon. Demon had to go for the boost. Baccarat looking for Lena to save the day. Deco, a chance to counter here, but bad 50 goes by the way of Daly. Back down to the mid. Baccarat is there. Leaves it for the teammate. Off the side. Demon, no boost. Oh, that could have been the worst way to own goal, but Baccarat does see it out.
And just a little wide here, but Solis not exactly letting that one go. They've got the offense, and the time, and the shot from Deco saves away Lena. You really feel like if Solis get one more, they're winning this game with the way that things have gone. Everything rides, at least for Torrent Corp, on getting the next goal. Vayo on target, saved by Lena. 1 minute left as Vayo back pass. Daly's not in the right position, they weren't paying attention, and now this goes all the way to the blue corner of the field. Vayo has Daly. Daly has Baccarat waiting, will get the bump in front, but not much else there. Baccarat leaves it, Vayo jumps in, the play won't be won. It goes across the field, it's Demon, 3-1. Solis have insurance in game number 4.
I think 2 back-to-back after a timeout is a buff that we don't really talk about a lot, and just because it normally doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like this situation doesn't occur very often. 37 seconds left. Big kickoff demo. Vayo with the touch. Could find something in the corner. Nobody's home there. Baccarat will have to play a lot. That's precious time gone by the wayside for Torrent Corp. That clear again. So much precious time off the clock. The possession not in their favor at this exact moment. That could be a pass to Daly. Daly does actually sneak it through underneath the defender. They're only down by 1. Torrent Corp could do it here, Sporty.
They couldn't have won if they gave up the next goal, and look at this. They are not only one away from tying things here, trying to make me eat my own words. Well, 15 seconds for them to prove it here. Kickoff, won by Torrent. It's Baccarat who's first with it. Daly playing Trailblazer, gets that bump, but it's Deco to clear. Vayo won't have it. Baccarat without boost. Baccarat without any open, and Baccarat without any touches. Deco scores, and now surely Solis have won here.
I was gonna say, scoring, they got this to be a crazy transition opportunity for Torrent Corp. 3 seconds left, 2 goals. That kickoff has to go in your favor. It absolutely does not. Torrent Corp have given up 2 back-to-back to 100x Solis. Do we see the timeout?
They choose to take it, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they don't. Every single game has been close. They just have not been able to keep up so far. As we'll head into Game 5 momentarily here. 100x Solis have changed their playstyle around. Now the question is, does Torrent Corp do the same? And we know they can. They've done it before. Can they do it here when the pressure is high? When the grand finals and a part of that $200 prize pool is up for grabs?
It is, man. And that split is pretty favorable, too, to the winner. So, they gotta lock in. I feel like Torrent Corp have felt the burn from Solis a bit too much. They're gonna take this time to really, really figure it out. Hopefully, they read it up very, very quickly, so their mental is pretty much locked into wherever they are. And I'm impressed that they read it up so fast. But me personally, I'm taking this whole minute to myself. I know we get timeouts. I know we're able to do something like that. But like, I'm icing out my opponent because 100X is hot. Even if it is a 2-goal game, that's still enough to really kind of put a pin in the fact that you really thought the series was going to go in your favor.
It definitely is a tough moment here, and now with a tied-up series, we go to Game 5 to determine match point in a second straight series where we have to do as such. The play is here for both these teams, and Aquadome is the setting, but it is match point that is on the line, and Solis have won the last 2 games. Torrent Corp, they're gonna have to change something up to see themselves take that advantage late. As play to Deco, pinched all the way back. Lena holding on to this one, will actually backtrack, was expecting the dunk there. As an infield pass, it's Bio! Oh, what a block by Demon! How did Demon get there? He meant that perfectly. And Torrent Corp bewildered. They should be up 1-0.
Ah, buddy. I tried to tell you multiple things at the top of the broadcast. Demon on the defensive line is a wall. You can't let him set up. You can't give him time to actually block things away. They absolutely will. Like, Demon is, as the name say, is a demon on the defense. Deco just needed to line one up there. Looks for the back wall play. It's saved well by Daly. Send away. Vio with a clear up the field, but Lena waiting for that patiently. Takes their opportunity to the sky. Back down. Looks for another quick shot, but unfortunately won't find that. Gonna play this to the corner. Good bump, and that's Lena turning around one more time. Awkward plays yet again. Lena tries to drop it off for Deco. Never mind. Selfishly goes for a shot in the corner. The boost collection is good by Lena as well, stealing the resources. With low 50, but it's back to Bakura. Bakura shot! The bump is almost good, but Lena narrowly escapes. It's got to be up to Solis now. Try to put in a counterattack if they can, but whipping is not the way.
Stop here. Lena right now with low boost. Demon's got low boost as well. Deco really has to do some work here, but it will send the play up for 100X Solis, and we're seeing Solis. You said it. Boost has definitely been an issue for them this series, and yet this team is so fearless. They don't care if they have no boost right now. They're still challenging so undeniably aggressively that even if they have no boost, they still do not care. They're choosing aggression over boost, and it's a risky choice, I would say, but I mean, you can't deny with the results. It has worked so far. It has definitely made Torrent Corp feel a lot more scared to challenge them in the midfield.
Oh, yeah, you definitely do not want to challenge a team that's currently beating you at your own game, which is challenging in the mid, and Lena is going to dunk one all the way through. Close to halftime, and 100X Solis go up by 1. They've done this thing where they win the swing games. Games 3 and Game 5. They are currently locking down their opportunities, and they're really, really putting a stop to the pushes, but lots of time left here in Game 5 for Torrent Corp to really kind of just make me not feel so good about being a Solis fan at this moment.
I think a lot of people out there are Solis fans. I mean, 135 Esports only had 2 teams initially in this tournament in 100X Vagabond and then 100X Solis. Vagabond are in the grand finals, but they're Team Evo's team now, so you only have Solis left, and Solis are looking to get things done for an org that has been in this league for a very long time, and has had so much success in this league for a while in 100X Knights, but in the other divisions, it has been a lot tougher for 135 Esports. Solis looking to try to make their org happy in the Apex Cup, a team that didn't do it last season, lost out, I believe, in the top 4. So now this season looking to do one step better, and well, they are already in the top 4, playing for the spot in the grand finals, and it feels like everything right now is in their favor, but there's still a lot of time to go and only a 1-goal lead. You know things can turn quickly, especially when Torrent Corp finds a connection! And they do it here! It's Bakura, and it's a tied game!
Beautiful pass from Vio. Absolutely recognizing the, just kerfuffle that was the defense there for 100X. And it wasn't that the pass itself was great. It was Bakura knowing exactly where to put it. Great team play regardless. Got to give a shout out to both. And look who it is again. We got to give Bakura some more credit as they are barreling 2 times back to back into the net going, you know what? I'm glad you think that you were going to beat us completely in this. It's still a tight series. Whoever wins this goes to match point. Don't think we're sleeping on it.
Don't think that Demon's going to be very happy about giving up that goal there, missing it off that back wall. Now a try for 3-1. They do it again. I might be experiencing deja vu, Taquito, but I think we've seen the same play 3 times in a row now. Daly finds Bakura, and that might be the quickest hat trick we've ever seen.
I mean, it's happened in a matter of like 15 seconds maximum. So, yeah, whatever's connecting between Daly and Bakura right now, y'all got to sever the tie because I mean, Vio has also been playing incredibly well. Has 2 assists. Or excuse me, that was Daly. Vio has an assist on one of the goals, but around 1 we go. Deco doesn't have enough boost to get back to it. Bakura tries to get there. It's a good challenge. Underneath, it looks like a double commit, but it might have been a pinch play opportunity. Back out to Deco. Deco racing up. Vio free. Shot down. Is there a play? No. Lena could have gotten bumped, but is able to get it away. They're trying to move up the pitch, but again, telegraph passes, telegraph plays, getting knocked out of the air. Immediately, Deco. Opportunity. Sit high. No player there. Sends it right to the enemy. This back and forth is not what you want in this moment. You've got to hold on to the possession. You've got to fight your teammates if you're 100x.
And finally, that one almost goes in as well. Torrent Corp holding offense. It was a quick swing late in the game. 3 straight goals from Bakura. That has been all that they've needed. One moment, it was Solis in the lead. The next, it was Bakura running right through them. And what was meant to be Solis's game is now Torrent Corp's match points going into Game 6. They'll be the ones that have the chance to end the series here and advance to the Grand Finals.
We wind down the time, looking for one more. Torrent Corp will secure the lead in the series and the match point. It was looking harrowing there for a second, and we thought about, possibly calling the timeout, but they didn't need it. Like you said, you didn't think they were going to grab it. Ball possession over to the side of Torrent Corp. Field domination. This has been the most staggering stat through the series so far, and that right there is beautiful to see. Maxine with the raid. Thank you so much. That's 2 or 3. Myself, Pyro, and Maxine. Welcome in, guys. We're sitting on game number 6. We're going to fly over to Neo Tokyo to see if Torrent Corp can close the series here against a team that is trying to march their way into the Grands.
They were in the top 4 last season and ran out of luck there. A run that was ended in the semi-finals. They were in the top 8 last season and lost out to the Whiffer Wet Jets. Now this season, making it to the top 4. They don't want to lose out to Torrent Corp. But for Solis, that's situation may be only 5 minutes away. This is where you gotta fight for everything here. We've seen already 1 Game 7 tonight. Solis now gotta make it 2 if they want to stay alive.
Hey, and what better way to do it than underneath the beautiful gaze of our Lord and Savior, Bob Rahman, right? Neo Tokyo, a legendary arena where we've seen a lot of teams succeed, and we've seen a lot of teams fail. This is the moment you have to be at. I spoke about it on my own stream. This something about this map. I love it aesthetically, but the pressure it puts on a team is unlike any other, especially when you're here in the stadium. Typically, it's always like this. It's Game 6. The series is hanging on by a thread for one team. The other team looking at victory road. Torrent Corp trying to close it out against 100x.
$200 on the line here. You win this, you're guaranteed at least a part of that prize pool. You lose, and your prize is a grand total of nothing, so you leave empty-handed. For Solis, if they want to exit this tournament, at least with something in their pockets, they've got to find a way back here in Game 6. Lena, first touch free, has open room, back wall's there, can't get the second touch, and it's cleared all the way back. Deco, with time and boost, and with the Bad challenge from Daly. No one else will care to challenge him as he goes to the blue half of the field. Lena will take it. One touch, a second one there. This one's going towards net, but Daly will be ready for it. As here goes Deco, off the ceiling. Will let this one bounce up high. Vayo's got nothing left. Lena will go. Players midfield. Lena will leave it. Here goes Deco. This one saved. Demon can't put it in, but he'll stay on top of it as Bakra will take the boost, take control, and take the ball away from Solis.
I like the attempt from Demon there to try to keep the offense alive. This is a good challenge from Deco, but has nobody in tow to play with. Lena is going to try their best. Off to the mid. Can't find another pass. This is still very, very doable for Solis. The pressure is definitely in their favor. Needed a little more juice on the shot, and that could have been goal one for 100X, but it's still now a transition opportunity here. Good send away from Demon to put the ball back in the blue, to stuff away, snuff out any press. This is going to be tough, though. They don't exactly have it built up properly. No passes are available, but we can see Torrent Corp really try to set up that common play that got them a hat trick in Game 5.
Just stay the way and stay in the play, and good things will happen. Torrent Corp just waiting for the opportunity, and Solis need to play even faster. Bakura to clear. Deco. Oh, that's not the touch he's looking for. Bakura easily kept wide as Lena will take the boost and the ball as well. Off the ceiling, Lena's got the catch. The dog, the play off the back wall. Bakura won't have it. David won't either. In goes Deco and no shot had. A big chance wasted. Lena will go again. This one's up. Lena's got this one. The dribble to the corner. It is Deco as well. Vayo to clear. Bakura redirects it high. No one can go. And not even Vayo. That play's too strong. Lena will keep it away, and Solis will go again. That shot won't challenge, as Daly will keep it out. And so far we've seen so many good chances made by Lena, but we need to see it all come together. It's one thing to make chances, another to finish them off.
It is, but unfortunately Lena hasn't had anybody with them to really get the play going. I see that we've got a couple of good challenges. Demon with the demo, Lena with a shot. Vayo is dangerously clearing at their own back wall. Shot from Deco. We'll clean it up. Congratulations to 100X for getting the goal. That was very good from Deco. The play was perfect. That was off of the mistake from Vayo. That is the only reason that goal happened.
Yep, just bad communication there, Torrent Corp. They had actually a good demo spawn too, but yeah, Tonner Solis asking the questions and getting the answers. Now they need to hold on to this goal, and that's not going to be easy. We've seen Torrent Corp do it again and again. Just snuff out any hope for 100X Solis late in this game. And they'll keep it away for now, but it's Daly who really can't find the ball. It's Bakra who won't find the touch either. It's Vayo, though, who gets by two. Vayo on one, but Deco is there first. And 100X Solis will clear. Daly. I like that control. It's 2v1. The only one left is Lena. The 50. Oh, it's gone in. It bounced off a defender and went in the back of the net. Torrent Corp back, and Solis are in absolute disbelief.
I'm only sad that it happened that way. Come on. Not an own goal like that. Demon, a chance to start here. Deco is up early. Corner bounces good, but it's sent away by Bakura. They have not been able to put anything together off the back wall here for 100X. They've been able to score off of these errant mistakes, and they've been able to play their positioning very well. Vayo had a chance to go early, couldn't get it there. Demon lays it down into space. They have a chance to build pressure. They need to do it well. Awkward bounce is going to leave it for Bakura. Lena needs to get a touch quickly, does so well out of the corner. Maybe another, couldn't get that last second touch. Demon, is it going to get bumped? And the net's wide open. What are we doing? Torrent Corp. What is going on?
Time again. Torrent Corp. And I thought it was them who was waiting for the openings, but it was Solis who's doing it themselves. Torrent Corp with the pressure getting the better of the now need a goal late, or else we're going to Champions Field. But it's Demon who will be taken away by Bakura. Deco's up, but that touch will not do very much. Lena will win it though. This one's off the back wall, and it will be played by Bakura. Kept up. Demon just clears it away. Now he just needs to hit the floor, and he will do just that. Game 7 at last, and we are back again.
I am shocked, to say the least. Very, very shocked that that's how we go into Game 7. That was egregious. I'm not going to hide it. I'm sorry. Torrent Corp, you've played so much better throughout this entire series. What was that? That last second thing from Bakura going for the boost, going up the side of the field. The whole entire middle of your pitch was open, and you went straight for the ball. You got the boost. You got boost and then went to the ball. I just, like, there was no defense. I'm so confused by that.
I think the issue is that the pressure got the better of them here. Torrent Corp knows they could be eliminated, and they've already been to Game 7 once and just not got a win against the Whiffer Wet Jets. They got to go again, and now they got to get a win over 100X Solis, an even tougher opponent in this final bracket. Team Evil Vagabond waits in the grand finals for their eventual matchup, and this is where it's decided. Torrent Corp, 100X Solis in its Game 7 to decide it. Champions Field, Game 7, everything you could hope for is here, and it's a grand final spot that rests in the balance. Does the pressure get the better of the Torrent Corp side, or does Solis meet their maker? Game 7, and a goal already! Lena scores 6 seconds in. Solis are not ready to leave.
That was amazing from Lena. That bottom corner slot. Beautiful shot. Pressuring immediately off kickoff. This is exactly what I want to see from Solis this entire time. This right here. This is what I wanted to see them play. This is the way they beat Gillian, excuse me. This is the way they beat them. It was immediate pressure right off the rip, right out the gate. They did not hold back. It was pedal to the metal. If they add aggression to this, some solid bumps, maybe some demos, whether it be corner or upfield, I think Solis will entirely turn this around. Again, Torrent Corp is now put in a position where it's your turn to play reactive. You've gotten way too comfortable in the game style that you've set up this series, and that has given up too many opportunities for you to take the lead and potentially close the series out.
What a save!
Control, but you know Torrent Corp, if they don't let the pressure get the better of them, they'll have their opportunities here. As Demon, that's going to be a giveaway to Daily, and it will be free possession. As this one's into the midfield, it's Bakura! Lena's out of position! Oh, what a block right over the shoulder! Bayo with the follow! Bakura!
Magnificent goal!
I have not been around long enough, and this is more for production. By the way, I'm going to speak directly to production here. I haven't been around long enough to hear Sporty peek the mic in Discord, and I finally got it. So I'm happy. This is a true
Game
grand
7
finals of the
Discord.
APS.
It's not even a grand finals, it's a semifinals, and it's still
I know,
Game
I
7.
know. It's a true series now. Your mic peeked on. We're here, baby.
My poor quadcast, it's usually pretty good at handling it, but no, not tonight, when we've had a Game 7 already, and another one here with Team Evil Vagabond waiting. Solis and Torrent Corp still on the attack. Bayo to block, Bayo to keep it, but it's Lena again, trying to push it through. Torrent Corp has got Bakura. Solis have got Lena, who stands on top. Bakura again, saved by Demon. Off the sidewall, it's Deco who's there. Now it's Demon. Deco's waiting. It's a perfect pass and a play to the back wall. Daly keeps it out. Lena keeps it high. But no one there. Bakura will have the outplay, and actually a very smart play from Bakura, leaving it for Bayo. Everybody's up here for Solis. There's nobody in nets, but they'll clean this one away. Less than 3 minutes now. Tied at 1, but surely something shakes us up sooner rather than later.
The biggest thing right now, Lena has a shot, and that's just to be a goal. I was about to say, the biggest thing right now is to capitalize in this moment on an errant mistake, and Torrent Corp beat me to the punch. The double commit on the back line is not what you needed. You got 2 minutes and 34 seconds. We're approaching the halftime. You've given up the lead. We've seen this before in a previous game where they go back and forth, tit for tat, goal for goal. It is going to be insane. There it is again, the Daily Bakura connection. almost happens right before our eyes. Daly couldn't get the touch. Vio now is in a 1v1 situation. Deleted off the pitch. They trade demos. Deco for Vio. Daly for Lena, I believe. Or excuse me, it was Demon. Sidewall. Deco couldn't find. Demon's gonna clean up. Bakura with the high alert for Torrent Corp. That's a shot. That's a pass. That's another crossbar.
Can any absolute terror? And it seems like no one has an answer. 3 goals on 4 shots. Lena is unstoppable right now. And Torrent Corp has got to deal with that issue in the final 2 minutes. Vio, with space, with Deco in front, but it is kept away again. Deco, stopped by Daly. Lena. Bakura won't get there in time. 1-on-3 it feels like, but Solis can handle that. Vio. Still Vio. This one will bounce out for Daly. Shot. Scoring. Saving is Lena. Bakura again. Lena is there as well. 3 goals and 2 saves now for the captain of 100x Solis. 90 seconds left. Demon looking for 1, but it's Daly who will wait under it. Lena again. Daly. Can't get around Deco. Bakura with a bad touch that is kept away by Demon. Deco's there. Lena's there. Demon's there. In front of the net. Lena will keep this one away. 1 minute left. Time is running out for Torrent Corp.
Oh, and the awkward lift there for Bakura. Demon gets a touch. Vio is going to send this to the corner. This is an awkward position to be in. That's a big clear. Bakura will probably save this easily. No! No! At the goal line! And Demon is able to put it in. That is a mistake going on.
We said before the series was the player to watch. And I can't disagree with that. Unfortunately, not for the right reasons here. 4-1. 100x Solis, have they done it at last? A team that couldn't make it out of the quarterfinals last season now. Now in the semifinals are just a half a minute away. Vio. Lena blocks it. Torrent Corp rushing for anything. Played across for Daly. No one makes contact. Demon will clear it away. Time is going away. It's melting off this clock. Daly. Lena will have this one. It's Vio who doesn't even get the shot. Demon to clear. Lena will wait in the midfield. Daly clears it away, but it's all for naught. Torrent Corp out at the semifinals. Lena does it all, and 100x Solis stay in the tournament.
Going to need a tune-up after that.
Unbelievable. 100x had to go through a Torrent team with the overall season MVP in Averted. Then they go into Torrent Corp, an overall team that is just projected to win. The number 1 team, you said it, moving in to this series. And then Solis are down in game 5. It is 3-2. You have to win games 6, 7 to win the series. And you do that in the highest pressure situation. Unbelievable. A 3-goal differential on Champions Field in that game 7 to push you to grands. Amazing from Solis.
And really amazing from Lena. You gotta give credit where credit's due. Lena really stepped up when they needed them, and that's the reason they're in this grand finals. Lena gets that job done, and if we look at our bracket, our grand finals now fully guaranteed at this point. 100x Solis taking on Team Evo Vagabond in the last match of the evening, Taquito. The 2 best teams, I would say, in this bracket from how they've been playing tonight. And I mean, we're only just moments away from that match. We're only minutes away from that match and what it has in store. And I mean, I can't wait for it, but wait, we'll have to do before we go to a break here. Taquito, you've been amazing all night. Do you have anything else you want to say? Any shoutouts? You want to plug any social medias? Anything at all before we go to a break and get ready for our last match of the season?
Oh man, It's just I wanted to come in and help you out. It's been a while. I'm very happy that I got a chance to see it. This action was absolutely insane. Shout out to Solis. I am high key hoping they actually win grands at this point, having to play the two of the toughest teams in this tournament and beating them both. Now they're gonna have to play the toughest team on their opponent in Vagabond, but it's also a grudge match. This team got taken by Team Evo. They were a 100x team, so now it's a little bit of a rivalry built up here. And I'm interested to see in what Pyro has to say when Pyro hits the desk for grands with you, because Pyro said they got some stuff they got to talk about with this Evo team. So I'm gonna stick around. I'm gonna wait. Guys, you don't gotta plug anything. You don't gotta follow me. If I've been around long enough, if you know who I am, then I'm glad that you remember me. I've moved on to a bunch of other stuff. I do a bunch of other things now, but I'm still glad for the people who do recognize me, who say what's up. So to me, for me, to you, and all these people who do these leagues like this, I love you guys. You give us a reason to do a job. You give us a reason to have fun. You give us yappers a reason to yap. So I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys.
Well, I appreciate you as well. Thank you so much for joining, Taquito, and thank you to all of you who have been joining tonight. Stick around, though. In just a few minutes, the grand finals will be live. Team Evo Vagabond, 100x Solis. Could you ask for anything better? No, you couldn't. Don't even try to answer that question. We'll be back in a few minutes with the grand finals.
When I feel down, I try not to forget to look around. It's a beautiful place. It's not always easy living in this world, but I know it's up to me, and I am never giving up. I swear I'll hold on. I'm holding on, and if I fall down, I'll get back up again. I swear I'll hold It's a beautiful place.
You wanna know my feelings every time I look in your eyes. Baby, I can feel your energy, it's making me realize everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I, everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I, you and I.
'ATS Season 5 has now reached its final match of the season. Not just of the Apex Cup, but of the season in its entirety. We've seen 4 champions claim their awards. In the Ascension Cup, it was not Lunar Echo, Optimal Echo. Catalyst Cup saw Infamous Thieves win their matchup. Phoenix Cup saw Yukio Kaizen. And the Pinnacle Cup saw the repeat history of 100x Knights. Tonight now we have the question of who will win the Apex Cup. Team Evo Vagabond, 100x Solis. Team Evo looking to win a tournament this season. They have had a tough time winning in the Ascent Tournament Series for a couple seasons now. It has been ever so difficult for themselves to get the job done. But hey, this is their chance to do it here for Team Evo. And well, joining me here is Pyroblocks. You've gotten to see Team Evo tonight. I think many of them consider them a front-runner team to win this whole thing, and for good reason. Tonight, they have played so fast, no one's been able to keep up with them, and that has been the reason why they've been able to tear up the competition.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm so excited to be here, not because we're crowning a champion of one of the toughest divisions in the Ascent Tournament Series, but also because both of these two teams are playing at such a high level. And as you said, Vagabond, their speed has been very impressive. They are the only team left in the ATS Season 5 Apex Cup to not drop a series yet. They've had a couple of close run-ins, Game 7 run-ins with Element 7, one in the quarterfinals, one in the playoff qualifier, but other than that, they've played very well, and it's going to be crucial for 100x Solis to match their speed. And I said this on my stream, and I'll say it again, playstyle, rotation, game sense, they're all very important, but if you're getting beat to the ball each and every time you go up, you're not going to even have a chance in the game. And that's going to be mission number 1 for 100x in a very long list of tasks for them to complete is to match Vagabond's speed, not get overwhelmed, and be able to spot the weaknesses in their defense. Because when you're playing a very aggressive first, second play style like Vagabond do, having somebody up, being able to cover that is important. And if Solis can get out of defense with possession, they're going to have a good time taking advantage of an isolated third man. But that's a big if, right? This Vagabond team is extremely solid offensively, and again, that speed from Dante and Retro, the two-headed Hydra, making life a living nightmare for each and every one of their opponents today in this season, and that's going to be the toughest thing for Solis to go up against.
Yeah, tonight has been a real battle for both these teams. If you take a look at the bracket so far, 100x Solis, Team Evo Vagabond, I think the clear top teams here. Vagabond swept Phoenix United Ghost as well. Talk to me about that match. You got to see it, and apparently it was anything but close. It was a very one-sided match in a bracket that has seen multiple Game 6s and Game 7s.
Yeah, and Phoenix United had a pretty comfortable quarterfinal win over Mismatch Gaming, but from the first kickoff in the semifinal, you could tell that they were just a little bit out of place. I don't think they ever led in that series. It was Vagabond all the way through. Game 2, Phoenix United tried to forfeit, and they couldn't, so they just had to run out the clock. I think the cumulative goal total must have been somewhere around 20-5. I mean, their defense from Vagabond was good, but what was really impressive is how much they kept pressure and how efficiently they shot. Because you have teams, that can put a lot of shots on target. Vagabond were shooting 40, 50, 60% in some of these games with that 10-shot volume, and that is a very good recipe for success.
As you said as well, that's the exciting point of this one. The other side of the bracket, the 100x Solis having to take down Torrent Corp and then Torrent Corp. They had to go against the two Torrent teams that many had as teams that could win this whole thing. And really, this is a matchup of veterans. If we take a look at our rosters here, veterans playing in these matchups, people who've been here for a very long time. I mean, you talk about on the 100 Solis side, you talk about Lena, who's been the Solis captain for 2 straight seasons at this point, I believe. 2 straight seasons of being the captain of this roster. And then on the other side of the brackets, you look at Retro, who has been here multiple seasons in a row, ever since, I believe it was ATS Season 1. Yeah, when he was on Team Evo Academy in the Apex Cup. Retro has never won. Lena has never won. You really feel like for both these players, it's the best chance they'll ever get in winning this whole thing. You don't get many opportunities to, as a long-standing player, to win tournaments, no matter how good you are. These players have been, leading tonight. Now, can they somehow put it all together and get the job done at last? The job that they have just not been able to do.
Yeah, absolutely. You are on the precipice. You have everything in front of you, everything that you could possibly ask for. The opportunity is right here. All you need to do is score more goals than your opponent. Obviously, in Rocket League, it's always easier said than done.
Yeah, it is. Lena here has been since ATS Season 3. And just to talk about Lena, I mean, all of you, if you didn't see it, Game 7 was absolutely a masterclass from Lena on how to keep your nerve. 3 goals in the final game of the series, really shutting out Torrent Corp. But we're into the grand finals here. It really is speed versus, I would say, individuality from Solis, and really speed versus teamwork in ways. Vagabond have been so fast tonight. You said it. That's the big question for Solis. Can they keep up with Vagabond's speed? If they can't, Vagabond's winning this thing. But on the side of Solis, for them, it was passing and it was solo efforts. And it really was adaptability that's going to favor them in this matchup. This is a team that can adapt. And they did it perfectly last series against Torrent Corp. They had to adapt twice in that series, really. Once after losing the first 2 games of the series, and then once after losing Game 5, going down 3-2 in the series. Solis have had to make adaptations. They're very, very good at it. Against Evil Vagabond, we're going to see more of that. Vagabond, the question for them, and I have to ask, you specifically, Pyroblocks, since you've seen them, is does this Evil Vagabond team have the ability to adapt with Solis?
In the series, I saw they didn't really need to do that much adapting. They kind of were on cruise control from the very start, but we've seen they played that Element 7 series. They were down 3-2 in that series. They had to come back in Game 6 and 7. Okay, sorry. So they've shown championship mettle. Both of these 2 teams have shown championship mettle. When your backs are up against the wall, even it's a match that you feel like you're favored, and finding a way to win is always so important. It's a late night for these teams. They've been playing for 2.5 hours, and they've got at least another 30 minutes left. So every last bit that you have left in the tank, you've got to use. And even when you're running on empty, you've still got to put something out onto the field that's championship quality. Both of these 2 teams have shown that they have the ability to do that. Now it's just going to be about, can you continue to execute when the pressure's on?
ATS Season 5, the 5th season of the Ascent Tournament Series season, and the 5th season to see a champion crowned as well. The Apex Cup is here. Veterans on both sides, players who have not won in their many seasons of action. Retro from ATS Season 1, Lena from ATS Season 3. They haven't won, but tonight, one of those 2 will finally get their chance to stand atop the rest. Team Evil Vagabond on the blue, 100x Solis on the orange, and it's one more best of 7 to end all best of 7s in ATS Season 5. The Apex Cup ends here, ends tonight, and it could not be any better.
Absolutely, and one other wrinkle in the fold here is that Solis are coming out hot from a Game 7 victory, while Vagabond have been sitting on the bench for the past 30 minutes or so, and we're seeing that here with already this rotation. That quick cut from Deco, so important to get it right back to Lena, sticking around. Something that both of these 2 teams do very well is allowing them to maintain pressure, allowing them to get more opportunities in front, and that is what has given 100x Solis their first goal here in Game 1.
The action continues here as it will be Retro back the other way to Osklo. That one kept out, and this one will be now kept away. Lena on the musty flick. Watch out for Lena. Watch out for Demon. Watch out for the shot. That one's kept out as well. Follow up in front will be saved away. Demon now. Up goes Lena. This one trying to play in the midfield, but it's straight back to Retro. Deco again, and what I haven't seen yet is that Vagabond speed, but here we go. Dante down the field. Demon will hold on, but here goes Vagabond with their pace. Retro challenges. Osklo's up too high. Demon, midfield, looking for the pass. Osklo is waiting. And Vagabond will hold on for now, but we haven't seen them pick up the pace just yet. Once they start doing that, that's when the questions really do come and really do get asked of Solis. Can they keep up?
Yeah, and the name of the game, as is usually the case, is counterattacks, especially for Team Evo Vagabond. That's what they have to operate on. That's where your speed can be such a big factor is when you're trying to beat opponents to the ball, like right here. Demon's been left isolated. Dante in field to Retro, Lina back in time, and that's good defensive speed here from Solis. They've been excellent so far at not letting Vagabond get too many breakout opportunities and shutting things down before they get too deadly. You can see here how much they like to keep somebody upfield as well. Cherry picking is Osclo, and that is something that Dante and Retro did a lot in their past semifinal match as well versus PXU Ghost, is sit up field to keep somebody in the play looking for a pass downfield so that their counters can get started and get threatening before their opponents even have a time to get back. But again, we're seeing Solis do very well to hold possession, not giving things away too easily, and keep the ball between them even when things are off.
The action continues, the play continues, and the grand finals is only separated by 1 goal in game 1. But I love this his holding from Vagabond. It may not be the counterattacks that we're so used to from them, but this team can play the offense that way as well. They have no problem holding the play, they have no problem keeping Solis back. The problem is, if you're gonna beat Solis, you gotta introduce those demos. We know Vagabond can do it, they did it against Element 7 perfectly, but here against Solis, they're gonna have to do it again. You're talking about Lena and Demon, who themselves are having some incredible defense tonight. You gotta demo these players. Simply put, if you don't, you're going to be sorry later.
Yeah, absolutely. And demos haven't really been that big of a factor in either of the 2 series that I've casted so far, but this one, as you said, can make all the difference, and it's something, again, that forces higher execution from your opponents, as well as from your teammates. It can really make things a little more variable, and that will allow for more opportunities to score. But this game 1 has been pretty closed off, besides for that opening goal from Lina. It's been fairly quiet, both teams trading offensive opportunities, maybe Vagabond on offense just that little bit more, and they found a gap through here. Retro taking advantage of the missed touch on the backboard from the Solis defense as he finds the first for Vagabond.
Demon just not paying attention. One mistake can really cost you here, and Solis got to see a couple from Torrent Corp last series that were detrimental to them late in their matchup. This one, fortunately, will only leave the game tied, but it gives an opening for Vagabond, and I mean, you don't want to give Vagabond anything to work with. This team will take an inch and make it a mile, as Retro will challenge next. K Dante with the clear. Lena, challenged by Osclo, will be Deco, who has this one next. Around Dante, Deco on his own will find the back post, but it will also find Retro waiting for him there. Lena, Retro to Osclo. Low boost here for everybody on Solis, but Lena will have it. Cooks your pinch on the field. We'll find Deco waiting. Now up is Demon. We'll get a touch on the ball, but we'll have to chase this one to find another as Dante pushed off. Deco still in, but nothing really there as Underneck Solis just attacking, but not really having any substance to that attack. They'll give up the play eventually here as they just weren't going to find anything out of that play.
Yeah, it's a lot of facilitating touches, trying to get something going, but besides for the 1 goal going in a piece, there's not been much. This one from Dante saved out by Retro. You think that a 100x defender is going to be able to get there anyways, but in any case, again, there's not a lot of threatening shots getting on target. It's a lot of, trying to set up offense without much behind it, and the second man on the defense on either side has been playing very well to prevent too much pressure from getting applied. You can see Lina here, that time pinging it high, making this a little harder for Osclo and Retro to get around towards the midfield, and that's a good bump from Lina as well. That defensive facilitation, such an important part of their gameplay, and such an important part of Solis's playstyle here. Demon forced back to his own corner, be a little awkward with Dante bearing down. 50ing at Central, it's there for Osclo off the post. Deco and Demon getting tied up, and Retro will capitalize again. It's just these small defensive mistakes that keep on combining with one another, and ultimately it has put Vagabond in the lead.
All mistakes for Solis that have been the difference so far. This really hasn't been a game where Vagabond's played like Team Evo Vagabond tonight. They've just been waiting, and the mistakes have been right in front of their eyes. And when you make mistakes, you make this very, very easy as well. As Demon to the back wall will be playing this one, as it's going to be Dante the other way. Team Evo Vagabond up by 1 late, and you know that Solis will need something back. It's been their mistakes that have caused this game to be this way. It's now going to be their heroics that keep them in it. Retro. Lena. Up is Deco. This one is punched away by Oslo, and it will be Vagabond who take game 1. And as I said before, this is really not the Vagabond team we've been seeing tonight. This is a very slow Vagabond, and had Solis not made those mistakes, we're talking about a 1-0 lead on the other side of the field.
Yeah, and it's been a very tenuous game one. Neither team really wants to commit, especially Vagabond. They feel a little more reserved. They kind of came into this, you feel like, assuming that Solis was going to match their pace, and then now they're just trying to play more solid. And in this case, that has worked, but you can't expect those mistakes to happen. They didn't really force them. It just was kind of a couple awkward spots. Their pressure was better. They had 10 shots to Solis's 4, and that's something that really can't be ignored. But at the same time, you know, it wasn't really a lot of forced errors on either end. It was a lot of, you know, sit back, let something happen. And it feels like the moment somebody gets that confidence to really step up, then this one's going to be bust wide open.
Yeah, game one is, I hope not going to be the way this grand finals continues, because it was slow and it was very unlike these rosters. I think game two is going to be much more like it, as Vagabond warm up, as Solis, you know, kind of relax after having to go to game 7 in their last series. These teams just need a little bit of time maybe to get themselves into things. But it is the grand finals. $200 now split between the winners. 130-70 is the split in the grand finals. So if you're first to get more, and not only that, you also, again, are ATS champions, which is something that a lot of these players are looking for. Again, especially the veterans who've been here multiple seasons in a row searching for that championship. Retro, Lena, both of them, I think, are players that deserve a championship victory, but only one of them can get that tonight. So far, Retro has been the better of the two, but in game 2, things may quickly change as played in field, not on target. A decent start here for Solis, but it won't be enough, as they'll have to go back to defense and watch out for the play the other side of the field.
Yeah, and Retro was going up with about 2 small pads worth of boost, but it didn't really matter. Threw the Hundreds defense off, forces respect, or forces a panic dive. This one, though, in front for Deco. Great read by Retro to clear it away, and now the boost total for Solis low. Demon in control by him. Under 1, 15 with another. That's what you want to see out of your first man there to buy you some time. Now Lena off the ceiling, intercepting, but not a lot of power there, so Retro getting to work. He's only got 25 boost. Really, the first man on both teams been a little hard-pressed to find a lot in the tank. Here's Lena. 50 by 1 off the backboard. Tough read for Demon again. Said it will be Retro. Corner wall shot coming through. It's Dante just going to be sitting low 50 on the ground, and Lena will put it downfield. Good work again to find a teammate on these clears as well, making sure that they're not just right back into opponent possession. It is a lot of high quality gameplay here in Oslo, finding the way downfield. This is what Vagabond likes to do, is keep somebody pushed up forward and allow these intermediate touches to turn into goals, as Oslo and Retro do here.
Yeah, just a little bit of passing in fronts, and this Vagabond team, at the pace that they have, will be able to outbeat Solis on a lot of those plays, but still feels like a very muted series so far. Just haven't seen nearly the same kind of chaos that we have seen really earlier tonight. Both these teams really relying on that defense to keep themselves in this thing. And it shows to you, again, what a Grand Finals is often like in this Ascent Tournament series. Rarely do you see the teams that are over-aggressive get that win. You often see those teams that have the defense and have that structural support from the back end of the field to be the ones that make that far run, because it can play so well. But that does mean in the Grand Finals like this, you're going to need to get creative here. And so far, Vagabond, they've got a goal, but that won't be, I wouldn't expect that to be enough here against a 100x Solis roster as they'll play in front. Okay, Dante will look for another. He's got the shots, and he's got the net in front. Dante, with an incredible angle, makes it 2-0.
When you're playing a pretty cagey grand final like this, having somebody run ahead and cause disruption is so important, and in this instant, it forced Deco off of his line and allowed Dante to put that one in. Even if the shot wasn't as high quality as he would have liked, it's still making this 100x Solis defense panic, and when boost totals are low, if you can continue to find shots on target in consecutive fashion like that, you're going to find good success here. And Osto has really been a very good catalyst for this Vagabond team. Not the player that, not out of the 2 players that I mentioned before the series started, but he's been very solid as well, knowing his role in the team and doing so well to facilitate this first man play here for Vagabond.
This is a big for reason. You're not going to win if two-thirds of your team are playing on the field. And yeah, as you said, Oslo, who has had a quieter game than we were maybe expecting, quieter night than we were expecting, still getting involved. As I don't know what that was, but it's 3-0. Vagabond have another, and Solis still look like they're half asleep in this grand finals. It is very odd to see a team that played as well as they did against Torrent Corp now really struggle to get anything going, playing this slowly in the grand finals.
Yeah, there's a lot of leverage being put onto the Solis third man there, because first and second are very late to rotate back and often have no boost to speak of. So it's put a lot of pressure on them to take a good 50, and Vagabond, they're very good at that. This double down from Retro, just a little off target, but you can see even on the counter here, boost totals are nowhere above 40 for any player. Lena pushing for mid boost, and this is a counter again for Vagabond being set up, forces Lena into action, but they've used all of their boosts. It's going to be Oslo again. You can see why Vagabond are so successful in setting up shop in the orange half is just because they're able to put pushes forward, and when a player moves out of rotation for boost on Solis, it's made sure that Solis is being punished for that. When you have nobody back, there's going to be a shot coming through. Here's one from Decodo down the other end, saved by Retro. As now 2 minutes left, Solis really desperately looking for something here in game 2.
Yeah, at this point, they still have hope to win this game, but you've hit the nail on the head here. Simply put, they have just rotated back with no boost. That net's open. It's a quick outplay for Solis, and I didn't expect them to be the team that would win on counterattacks here, but Demon finds Deco, Deco beats Retro, and it's an open net down the side of the field, so Solis have a goal back in this game. They're not out of it, to say the very least, but as you said before, the big issue for them has been those rotations. It was an issue with them against Torrent Corp earlier in this series. They got better when they went for a much more soloist style. Well, here against Vagabond, that issue is really being exploited, and is really the only reason that Vagabond are winning, but it's reason enough for them, as Vagabond now got a 2-goal lead, need to hold this one with 90 seconds left.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is when small pad pathing becomes so important. Dante finding his way through the defense. I mean, he's just slicing through each of the 2 defenders back. Oslo, good work from him to recognize that he has a teammate midfield. Nobody's covering that angle because, again, Demon and Lena are both last back on 0. When you have no boost back like that, you can't put somebody in the midfield, and that top shelf slot becomes a guaranteed goal at that point. And these kickoff strats as well working for Vagabond, seemingly everything cooking for them right now.
A game like this, when you have so many goals, when you have, as you said, everything going your way, and you can do whatever you want, and it feels like nothing can go wrong. Solis looking for something late to give them that hope that this Grand Finals is still not lost. Retro, they're back by Lena, Oslo, 5-1, Vagabond continuing the dominance, and Solis just look completely outplayed right now. Like they can't keep up with them, like they have nothing that they can do to stop what Vagabond doing right now and performing.
Yeah, and Solis so desperate to chase this lead that net safety no longer a factor. Maybe a part of it is, they're down by 4 with a minute left. You have to send the house at some point, but really even when they're on defense, they're struggling to get in the way of a lot of these plays by Vagabond, and the follows are just so effective that it's difficult for them to escape. I mean, even here, that's a good bump there. Demon low boosted, Retro immediately on this one, dropping it down. The save comes through, but these follow-ups need to be happening for Solis. Their clears need to be a little more effective to prevent these Vagabond attacks from coming through. Ever since that first goal in game 1, it has just been continued pressure for Vagabond.
PXU Ghost and decided, well, we can do that again here in the Grand Finals as Demon dropped to Lena. Oh, what a block from Retro. Waited inside of his own net, knew he couldn't challenge off the back wall, so instead decided to get into the net, avoid the bump that was coming across, and hopefully get on the end of that. And get on the end of it he did, and more, as Vagabond continued to keep the ball away. Here goes Demon. Dante, second touch, not made, but doesn't really matter. Vagabond will take game 2 on a 5-1 scoreline. Almost 6-1 there, saved by Lena. Whatever it is, Vagabond have been dominant so far. Solis, they're a team that can make adjustments. This is their time to do so.
Yeah, and Vagabond, their strength is in their follow-ups, and they haven't really had to have the third man be that much of a factor. Whenever you have the first and second coming through for Vagabond, that's usually been enough to put something so threatening on target that Solis starts to scramble, and from there it has been pretty easy for Vagabond to convert. And again, they're putting 10 shots on target. That's very good. Converting 50% of those is an insane mark for that sort of volume. It shows why they're so deadly. Putting these in from whatever position that they find themselves in. And again, that all comes down to that second man positioning. Their shots are made easier because their second man's in the right spot at the right time. They're crashing the net at the right moments, and it's led to this kind of offensive domination. Solis still struggling to find themselves the same opportunities on the other end of the pitch.
And you've said before this series how important of a player Retro is. He's not the player that's scoring. As you can see from this game, he's got no goals. Out of the 5 that his team has scored, Dante's had 3, Oslo's had 2. Retro, though, hasn't had to score, and yet he said he's the most important player on this roster tonight. And for a very simple reason. He keeps that rotation in check, and he allows his teammates to work around him. He's got 2 assists this game. He may not be scoring, but to be fair, he doesn't have to here. As a tactical timeout call by 100x Solis. They'll get an extra minute in between games, and this is feeling very reminiscent of last series. They lost the first 2 games to Torrent Corp, took a timeout, and were able to rebound after that. This is a very similar position but it's Evil Vagabond on the other side. How do they adapt to this?
Yeah, and Solis just kind of has to start trusting their third man, I think. It's going to seem kind of counterintuitive when you're conceding this much, but you've got to start setting two at the ball. Well, not at the same time, obviously, but having two on the offensive end, really playing off of each other to create more space and have more confidence in your mechanics, really. You have to force Vagabond to respect your play. You have to trust that your first man is going to do the right play, and if they're not, then it'll be handled by the third man. There's got to be some trust in yourself and in your teammates to do the right thing. Otherwise, you're just kind of waiting for Vagabond to push the ball at you. You're being very reactive. You're going to run out of boost that way, and Vagabonds clearly have taken advantage of that sort of play style.
There they have. Vagabond so fast, so aggressive, so confident. They really haven't had any reason tonight to be less confident in themselves here as the timeout will now end. It's clear that Solis have an adjustment that they're making. And here we go into game number 3. Evo Vagabond have a huge lead now in this Grand Finals. Solis, though, their strength is in their ability to recover and adapt. This is where they'll have to make it happen.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, Sporty, but I believe they came back from a 2-0 deficit in their last series, but Retro, we did the same thing to Phoenix United after their timeout is scored just 10 seconds in. It's Dante to Retro, this 1-2 duo, and that's a great spot. Far post on the defense, you need to be covering the midfield, and when your rotation is being a little rushed, when you feel like you have to get back that coast, you miss driving through that midfield spot. You're allowing your boxes to stay open, and you're allowing Retro to score shots like that.
Down early, but that's not going to slow them in any way as infield play. Oslo does perfectly well to read that. That's a tough bounce to read for most players, but Oslo did not panic, and now they will! Nobody's in net, and it's straight to Demon.
Good play off the wall here from 100x Solis, and finally something to work with Dante. A bit of a mistouch in Demon. Great shot, 0 boost, but still finding it over the top of Retro. And stemming the bleeding are Solis, and that's so important to just reset your momentum, take a deep breath, especially after conceding first right off the timeout. It's good to just, take a breather and realize that this series is far from over. You just have to keep playing like that.
Decker had nothing there and couldn't even make the touch on the back wall. Really made a mess of his own positioning, but found just enough on it to not have us talk more about that play. As Oslo again, Demon waiting. Fake flip reset to Dante will be denied on the goal line as Retro. That's not a touch I was looking for, and Demon's gonna have room to back, but it's Demon with the play. And Oslo with the clear that will find Dante, and now find the back wall. Dante again to Retro. Ooh, faked out Lena. Now we'll have some time, but not a lot of it. Solis already looking to make things awkward, challenging Retro early and forcing him back. And he said that they need to give respect here to Vagabond. Vagabond needs to give respect to Solis. That's a little bit of respect there. Solis getting that by how high up they're playing on the field and how unused to this Vagabond really is.
Yeah, and this offensive rotation from Solis has been so much better. They're starting to starve this Vagabond team, and they're allowing these clears out to be met instantly. The only real thing has been being more comfortable clearing from defense to offense, but in any case, this has been a much better performance. They're finding more threatening shots. It's falling into the box to a teammate so often now, and Vagabond's starting to have to stretch for a lot of these. Here's Retro again. Just gives that one right away to Lena. Controlling, gonna be off the backboard, double central shot coming, no, Dante going, and good patience there from Demon to just allow the panic clear to come through. You don't have to force it, your opponents are not invincible, you just have to find your moments, and it looks like Solis are starting to figure it out.
Solis definitely trying to figure everything out here, but they are only tied. This is still anyone's game to win as it's Retro. Pulls one in to Dante! Save away by Deco as he'll scrape it away. Solis' defense stands tall again. Now they'll get rid of it, but a double commit. Nobody's back. Retro, Lena's there. Trusting in the third player will be vital here for Solis, but a double commit, not a good sign for this team, but they'll get away with it here. Deco, Demon, Lena's all the way back, and I love that play from Dante, just letting the Vagabond take it. They know that this Solis team does not want to challenge them right in point blank when they have those dribbles, but they're forcing them to, and it's meaning that Solis is getting beat on a couple of these early challenges.
And Oslo is almost always a cross. It's a bit of a mistouch from him, but he's been very well positioned and taking advantage of the fact that Solis are really not looking at the midfield all that much, and it's given him a lot of opportunities to take advantage of free space, especially with Solis shadowing right under the ball. It's made it very awkward for them, and that a cross pass is almost always there, and again, it's another awkward spot that Oslo can just jump in on. From his position across the field, he's able to just drive through. Lena, Deco, so awkward, and this is the perfect angle to challenge from. Taquito's cross high third man has been so effective this series, and again, it gives the Solis defense fits.
As you said as well, it will give them something tough to deal with here. And the action and the goals flying in now for Vagabond, but a 1-goal lead. They've got to hold on for quite a decent amount of time here as Solis will try to make things happen. Lena looking for the outplay to Deco, easily read by Oslo. Retro, Dante, still Dante, won't have this, but Retro will! And from that range, he's not missing. Vagabond lead by 2.
And again, it's Solis waiting for the shot to fall to them, but they just can't find a ways around it, and the precision from Vagabond, one of their greatest strengths. No doubter there from Retro. That'll be 3-1 here, and about a minute and a half away, Sporty, from quadruple match point, and 1 win away from a grand finals victory for Vagabond. Solis really do need to get going here and now. You don't want to have to reverse sweep this team.
Be forced in that position where you have to go 4 games in a row, because it's something that just doesn't happen often, and really isn't likely to happen here against Vagabond. You only make it tough on yourself as Dante will... Oh, watch us, there's some fireworks around him here. Deco will have it, but it's Retro, and it is Oslo, but it's Lena with the challenge. Lena has again been muted at times as here goes Retro, challenged away by Deco. Dante clears, Demon looking to go across the field on this one, will instead leave things close and give himself some time. Now the pass, Lena waiting, it is saved away. Dante gets just enough on it.
And that's just incredible play from Dante that you thought for sure that was going to go in from the 1-2 from Solis, but Dante still finding a way to somehow pre-flip it and save it off of his own post. Just unreal defense from this Vagabond team. This is what a championship team feels like. It feels like they have that air of inevitability on their side, and right now they are showing it in full force as now time ticking down on game 3 and down on Solis' second to last life in this series. Deco, this has got to be it. Reset over 1. It's going to be shut down by Retro, and a pinch to the sidewall will confirm it. Quadruple match point for Team Evo Vagabond, now just 1 win away from an Apex Cup championship.
And you know Retro's going to be feeling pretty happy about this one. 2 goals this game. Dante's got 3 assists. The duo continues as Dante looks for 1 late, but it won't make a difference. This one's over. Vagabond lead, as you said, 3-0 on quadruple match points. 1 more win needed now, and last season's Apex Cup, I believe, also ended in a 4-0 sweep, so it was ended 4-1 last season. You feel like for Vagabond, it feels like everything is going their way. The speed's working. They're winning the challenges. Solis, even when Vagabond respects them, they just can't seem to break them down. They need a reverse sweep, and a tough one at that, and they've already used their timeout, so they're not even going to get an extra minute here. They only get a minute at most to talk things out and make adjustments.
Yeah, absolutely, and it just feels like an impossible task right now. Even though Solis is not playing poorly in this game, felt much better down the offensive end, they're still only scoring 1 goal a game, and Vagabond, their offensive execution is just so strong. Again, their shooting is, this time it was only 30%, but 30% threes is a good mark to be hitting, especially when you're still putting up 10 a game. Vagabond, when you're shooting like that, you don't need to be that high volume. You can be content with putting even pressure on with your opponents, and in this case, that has been the recipe for success. It's gotten them now 1 game away from a championship.
Evo Vagabond, only 1 game away. Retro is only 1 game away. And for Solis, it looks like the hope is quickly running away, but it is not over yet. Team Evo have not won just yet. Solis fighting for everything now. The only team left for 135 V-Sports in this top 8, and they've made quite the run so far. They've gone to Game 7 before to take down teams. They'll have to do it again. Lena. Deco. Will be Lena again. That one by Retro as Oslo will wait on it. Play to the sidewall for Demon. Oslo. Deco won't have it. Infield pass for Dante, but this one will not find the net as room for Retro to shoot. Lena's the only one back and will just get enough on it. Vagabond still threatening here and that bump in front of the net. I don't know if you saw it, but that's what made the play happen there. Lena should have had a second player with them, but that bump will only leave them behind, and they're still going to challenge. But so much pressure on Lena right now to stand tall for Hunak Solis. So much pressure individually for these players, and you can see them cracking and breaking at times because of it.
Yeah, it's been a little scrambled at the start of this game for both teams. Alsco trying to fake it through Demon. Awkward save for him, but Dante Retro was a little too far ahead, so this shot will be weak and easily saved by Deco. Still Dante, no boost, forces a panic touch out of Lena. She'll grab some boost. Now Osclo through the corner. Lena one touch forward. Here's Dante. Lena beating again. It's been better from them this series, and another dunk on Retro. Lena just no remorse at all. Diving not once, not twice, but 3 times to beat each and every one of the players on the Vagabond defense and finding the opening goal for 100x.
Solis, it might as well be Lena. They've stepped up multiple times tonight. Why not do it again in the grand finals when your team needs it most? We've seen 2 game 7s. Lena has seen a game 6 and a game 7, had to step up in both of them to get that victory. Now in the grand finals, again, Solis are looking at Lena to be that team leader, but there's nobody back, and Retro will let this one find the net. Solis sent the house, and it did not pay off.
You're trying to maintain your momentum. Those are the kind of goals that you just cannot let go through. You've got to try to hold on to the lead, even if it feels like you're going to give it up. You need to at least force them to work for it. Vagabonds can't afford to be giving them freebies, and now 1-1, things back to level for Solis as they look to respond in some form. Dante rushing this one down and finding a good 50. It's just been a lot of awkward turns on the ball for Solis on defense, really struggling to take these wide lines in a way that will get them, around the ball and make their challenges more comfortable. This one good forward from Lena, but Dante they're already off the sideball. Demon backflipping on the challenge. Now the counter's on. Dante looking for the read. It's a tough one. It's actually a fake there for Osclo. It's going to be off the crossbar. Lena and Deco getting tripped up, and Osclo will score. And again, it's a defensive error coming through, but it's also the fake from Dante opening up and more space for yet again Osclo across the field.
And Solis just completely panic. We've seen it time and time again. We've seen it over and over again, and we've seen it done over and over again. Even though there might be mistakes, Vagabond, that's just the way that they play. They make you panic because of the way that they play their offense. And it's so tough to handle as now this one's open, and Retro, oh, he missed that one off the bar. That's a rare miss for Retro. And Solis better be taking their lucky stars. It's not 3-1. They still have a very good chance of coming back in this because of it.
Yeah, and they're still going to be to the ball there. It was floating in their half for what felt like an age, but they still could not corral the ball into their possession. This is better, though. Lena downfield. Even if your touch quality isn't great, you've got to be pushing the ball. Someone's got to be going while the rest of your team's grabbing boost. That's a good 50 there. It'll force an awkward clear out of Dante, who's out of boost. Lena up. You want to see a fake call here, maybe? No, Osclo to the side. This is solid from Solis. Past 1. Good 50 on Dante by Deco. Now Retro taking control, getting dunked by Lena. Chance on offense now for 100x, dropping it down. Dante, Osclo, both going. Osclo gets bumped off the play. Here's Deco from a deep third rotation coming in here, and it'll just be right back to Osclo, who's going to have a full tank of boost to work with. Faking out Lena. Still a bit awkward for them, and they will get dunked, but it is still Vagabond seemingly so much more comfortable in offense and defense than Solis is right now.
And Solis is on very low boost. Again, this is not a position that they like to see, but it's been a position that they've seen a lot in this grand finals, and a position that they'll have to deal with a lot more if this is the way that they're playing. Dante just keeping it, but Lena just waits, and now we'll go the other way, a little wave dash to keep things moving, but it is infield for Retro, who will send one on target. Deco holds on to this one. The boost held by Vagabond, but Deco has space and has a solo play in progress. Dante to clear. Oslo has Dante, has a net, has it in, and Vagabond again.
Perfectly summarizing how Vagabond are on the championship are Osclo and Dante finding the infields on the counter, and it doesn't matter who you have back. The execution is pristine. Vagabond still, their volume is high, their efficiency is even better, and it's led to these sort of opportunities falling through time and time again, and it has led to them now being just 1 minute away from an Apex Cup championship.
60 seconds. Solis's hopes rest in them getting the next 2 goals, tying up this game, maybe going for overtime. But they've got to get things moving, and they have not been able to get out of defense here, as Dante with another controlled touch. This one just cleared back by Demon. Hope for Solis quickly fading away. The last of 135 is hoping desperately to beat a team that used to be on that org, as it's Deco! And Solis have a chance
And Demon running out of boost was actually a boon here. It forced Dante off to a line that he really wasn't expecting to have to go on. It opened up just enough space for Deco to sneak that one through and give just a little glimmer of hope to Solis. Now 30 seconds left. This is doable, Sporty, but it feels like they've been running uphill this entire series. This has got to be their moment.
The moment, it's got to be their time, and with less than 30 seconds left, it's got to be now. Lena can't get around Dante. Deco's waiting as well, but it is Dante with the ball. Deco just heading this one back, looking to take a moment here to breathe. They haven't had many of them, and now they gotta find one last chance. It's above the back wall. Oslo with the play to end it. Lena will be there. Lena will keep it up. Low boost for everyone. Lena bumped out the way. This one hits the floor. Dante ends it. A sweep in the grand finals. Retro couldn't do it in Season 1 on Team Evo Academy. He couldn't do it in Season 3 on Team Evo Tyrants, but on Team Evo Vagabond in Season 5, added in the final bracket qualifier when everybody asked why they did it. This is why they're champions of the Apex Cup.
And what a way to do it in a sweep. Just a resounding statement that they are the clear best team in the Apex Cup, the only one this season not to drop a single series, 11-0 the whole way through. Just an impressive performance from start to finish. They didn't drop a game, Sporty, after losing Game 5 to Element 7 in the quarterfinals. And just everything clicking for them at the final moments. Really the perfect way to end the season for them with a championship victory.
As you said as well, all the way through to the grand finals. 2 straight sweeps as well. Ever since they had to play Element 7, they just found their way through. And not even found their way through. They bullied their way through. They really did take the battle to their opponents. And, I mean, that's never an easy thing to do, but you gotta give them credit. It's so tough to keep Vagabond out. We'll take a look at our bracket here for the last time tonight. Team Evo will take the victory over Huntex Solis in the grand finals. We'll take that win as well. Man, it was a long time coming for some of these players, and again, as I mentioned before, they added in Retro in that final bracket qualifier. I was one of the many critics who asked why they did such a thing after having a perfect regular season with Cypher. But clearly they have their reasons, and clearly those reasons were made because this is a team that just is unstoppable, winning the Apex Cup, the best of the Apex Cup, and one of 5 teams to win the championships this season.
Absolutely, and again, it's just so well deserved. They've been doing so well the entire season long, and really for all the players on this roster, both now and in the past, it's got to be sweet, especially for Retro, playing for so long. Really a great victory for him. I'm sure it feels great for him to finally be champion.
He said as well, it's got to be an amazing feeling here. As well here, and my goodness, I mean, not even just for him, but for Oslo, for everybody else as well on this team. It really feels like it's been a great win overall for Vagabond, who absolutely do deserve this thing. Now, Solis won't be walking away without anything. They'll get a little bit of that prize money, but Vagabond will get the reward. Oslo, Dante, Retro, and Cypher have taken the Apex Cup by storm, and for a second straight season, our Apex Cup Grand Finals has been very, very quick and very, very defiant. But that proves just how good some of these teams can be and just how good you can get over a season. They started the season off already as a team that has proven themselves but had a lot more to go. They've ended the season just completely taking down everyone else in their path. And again, credit to where it's due. That's an incredible performance. And I'm going to try to get them on an interview here. Hopefully they'll join us in just a moment here. But again, got to give credit to where credit's due to Oslo and Dante for their performance tonight. We're talking so much about Retro and the story that he has, but Oslo and Dante are right behind him, and they've been amazing overall as support.
Yeah, and it is. I mean, their rotation style is excellent too, and it's a little bit of a subjective thing for me, but I really love the rotation style. You see a lot of the time, often teams are playing with first man on the ball, second very close, and third very far back. Having a playstyle like they do where Oslo is just so often sitting across high up that lets that passing lane be present. And if your opponents aren't keen to that, you're going to be scoring a ton of goals. As Oslo did here, he was just always in the right spot at the right time. And that's a great way to play. It's a great way to secure things as well. Having those kind of advantages rotationally is such a satisfying advantage to have. And I'm sure every single time they hit one of those, they were conscious and they were loving it.
And we'll get them into this interview in just a moment here. Let's get I believe it's going to be Oslo who's joining us here for the little interview. Welcome in, Oslo, a 4-0 win in the grand finals, but champions of the Apex Cup. Team Evo Vagabond have done it here and went 8 games straight in their final 2 series. What a performance tonight! You guys won the last 10 straight games in that final bracket. You deserve to be champions of the Apex Cup. How are you feeling? Tonight's been it's been a wild night for you guys.
We're feeling good. A little bit tired, but at least we got through the finals quickly.
Oh,
Mm,
that's good to hear. And for you, I think you guys came into the playoffs as one of the favorites. Then going against Element Seven, that's a team that you guys took to Game Seven in the playoff qualifier, and going up against them again and going down 3-2 to them in that moment. That was the last game you dropped tonight. Kind of what was your thought process going into that Game Six and Game Seven? When you had your backs up against the wall against Element Seven, how did you kind of corral yourselves back on track and back towards the championship?
Well, the first time we played them, we were also down 3-2, and then we won the last two games. But it was more so just trusting that all our practice, everything our coach did, shout out Die, was gonna work out. We just played our game and we just got it worked out.
Yeah, and I think the big surprise I think this season was the fact that you guys added retro mid-season as well. A lot of people were critical of it. I was one of those people. I was so surprised when after having a perfect season with Cypher, you added in retro. We're not going to talk too much about the why of that case, just the what happened afterwards. Clearly, you guys have done well. Talk to me what it's like to have retro as a teammate overall.
He's just a rock on defense, man. He's actually just super reliable. He touches the ball every time. That's really all we wanted. Like he's just perfect for what me and Dante really wanted. He just fit in super great.
Yeah, and your rotation style was really excellent as well. Was there anything you did you noticed as the series went on that you kind of took advantage of, or were you just kind of playing your game and in the flow state throughout?
Well, I mean, for the finals, it was just Lena. It's just don't let Lena on the ball, and we should be fine. That was basically the game plan coming into it. Because funny story, we actually warmed each other up before the day. We scrimmed Solis an hour before we played Element Seven, and it's actually pretty funny that we met up in the finals.
Well, I guess you guys had a perfect warm up today, right?
Yeah.
You can only sometimes get perfect warm ups, but you got one tonight, and a foil sweep as well in your semis and your grand finals. It's been an incredible season for you, for Dante, for Retro, who I can now officially say is our ATS Season 5 Apex Cup Playoffs MVP as well. So congratulations
Nice.
to Retro. He's been waiting many seasons to have the chance to be champion, and now he's not only champion, but the playoffs MVP along with it. He's had so many seasons to find that spot, to find that success, and tonight is his night. But for you and for Dante, who've been teammates as long as you guys have been, for Cypher, who's been your teammate, now your sub, for as long as they have been as well, you guys have stuck around for a while. You guys have been together for a while. What's it like to know that all that work is now kind of, now not now all worth it with a victory here in the Ascent Tournament Series main stage?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, it feels nice. We definitely put a lot of work into it, especially on our play style. Lots of replay reviews, lots of scrims, and it was pretty rough for a while. While me and Dante were kind of struggling a little bit with Cypher. No disrespect with Cypher, he's cool, and I appreciate him for subbing in for Element Seven, but we definitely needed something a little different, and I'm glad that picking up retro it worked out.
By the way, you know what? Dante wants to join us as well, so welcome in as well, Dante. Oh, and Retro wants to join. Yeah, I'm sorry, your teammates are here. You got to deal with them for a little bit longer. Welcome in, Dante and Retro. Sorry we couldn't get you in earlier. You guys decided not to join us until the very end of this interview. But your champions as well. No worries. At least we got all of you eventually. Here, by the way, Retro, congratulations on the playoffs MVP. You've been looking for a championship for multiple seasons. You started in ATS Season 1. You're one of the longest standing players in the Ascent Tournament Series. You've been here consistently on and off in Season 1 and in Season 3. Now in Season 5, you are champion. After having, multiple seasons of success, but just coming up short in the final bracket in the playoffs. What's it like now to finally have a team that can go the distance and do it all?
Uh, I'll say it's definitely way better. I love it. I love the guys. It's so much easier to play and to actually team with. I'd say have people who are like around the same skill as me. It's just so much better. It's way easier.
Yeah, it's really good to hear. You guys seem like, I mean, even though this change happened really late on, it seems like you guys are already such great teammates, just good friends, and it's really, heartwarming to see something like this happen, and seeing you guys play like this as well. It's dare I say, it's inspiring, and yeah, really congratulations again. Thank you all for such an excellent season. And hopefully we'll see you soon in
Well,
the season 6.
That's not. They're not
Unless
leaving just here, Pyro. We gotta get some
of
shoutouts
course.
from them.
That is true. Yeah.
We can't let them leave without doing what we always do here. So to
Yeah.
all of you in Team Evil Vagabond, again, congrats on your win. Let's get some quick shoutouts going. Let's start with Dante here. Dante, do you have any shoutouts? Anything you want to say? You've been waiting a couple seasons to be champion, to get your moment to do this. What do you have anything that you want to say out there?
Yeah, shout out to Bezzy. He's a big fan of mine. Also Azebo, also Sim, just a bunch of fans of mine. They're really bad. And yeah, so is Deco.
Well, fortunately for you,
Wow.
or not so fortunately, I guess Acebo and Beziki did also win this season. So I guess
Thanks to me and Retro.
Yeah.
Coaching Coach
they
Osco and Retro.
Yeah.
well, they found their victory here at the end. They found your victory. You found your victory as well. Oskla, do you have anything that you want to say? Any shoutouts as well?
Yes. Shout out Die. Thank you for coaching us.
Yeah.
Shout out Cypher. Thank you for being our teammate for the first half. And shout out Thrifty for being our own Argon for the first half. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I think people forgot that this team used to be 100x Vagabond, but we mentioned it a lot tonight. That's for certain. The origins of this team. Retro now. You've had a couple seasons. You now get to be at the top. You have any shoutouts? Anything you want to say? You've had a very long history to get here, but you finally get it. I'm sure there's a lot of names for you to say that have helped you along this very long career that you have, and a career that's likely to continue going into future seasons. I expect that we're likely to see you in future seasons as well.
Yeah. Man, my list is so long, you know. No. I mean, I just give a shout out and give a thanks to I'd say first of all the boys to Evo, like throughout my whole career playing in ATS. Like you know, Lepid and Risky as I used to team with them, and but everybody who was there like supporting us on the way, that Bezzy, Sim, Phoenix, all of them. I give a shout out to my teammates because these guys are the goats, man. But other than that, a shout out to Dai as well. He's a great coach. He's helped us through a lot and really forming us as a team. But other than that, I'd say the final thing is like shout out to I'll give a thanks to Thrifty because like as I wasn't planning on or I didn't mean to take also and Dante away from 100x. I for certain reasons I just couldn't play for 100x. So I appreciate him for being cool about that. But I think that's it.
Well, of course. And you know what? That's it for Season 5 as well. Our final champions are named. Congratulations, Team Evo Vagabond. Team Evo have not won since the Season 3 Ascendance Cup when it was Team Evo Bananas who took the victory there. So we've been waiting a season and a half, basically 2 seasons at this point, for another Team Evo team to rise to the top. And they do it tonight, August 31st. The end of our August championships. Thank you so much for joining Team Evo Vagabond. Dante, Oslo, Retro, congratulations on your victory. Retro, congratulations on the playoffs MVP award. And thank you all so much for joining and competing. Again, congrats once more. Have an amazing rest of the night. Go celebrate with the rest of Team Evo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Later.
Thank you.
And of course, that's not the end of the thank you as well. Thank you to all the people who've been joining us on this stream as well. To aFiestyTaquito, who joined us in the semifinals. To Krusty Dog, who joined us in the quarterfinals. To you, Pyro, who's joined us in the grand finals as well. What a night it has been. It has been long, I will say that, to say the very least. We've had 2 Game 7s, and this stream always feels cursed to never have one. So it's nice to see the Game 7s on the stream again at some point. But of course, thank you so much for joining, Pyro. Before you leave, do you have anything else you want to say? Any thoughts before we kind of close out the end of Season 5 in the Ascent Tournament series and go to our off season?
Yeah, I always say this, but the ATS is genuinely just such a treat to be a part of. You know, this is one of the best run leagues I've ever had the pleasure of casting and being a staff member for, and it's always great to see how its continued success is. I mean, it just keeps going. That's a lot of that's thanks to you, Sporty, as well. You're a big part of this. I really can't thank you enough. And yeah, I mean, it was a great evening, and super happy to be on here with you.
Of course, and another big thanks to our producer behind the scenes, in Kyle, who's been taking up production after my internet decided to not like me anymore. So thank you to Kyle as well. Thank you to John KB, the other director of the Ascent Tournament series as well, who's been doing a lot of things behind the scenes. Thank you to our managers and to our admins as well. Big special shout outs to to Averted and to Armor J. Unfortunately, both of them lost in the quarterfinals, but thank you to both of them for helping run things as well. Thank you to all of our admins who have been sort of putting us behind the scene, and thank you to all of you as well who have been there as well watching this. We don't run ATS if people don't care to watch, so thank you all so much as well. We'll be going to a bit of an off season here, but we won't be gone for long. Next weekend is the return of the Champions Cup, the Amateur Rock League Champions Cup 3, the Cross Progression League, and the Cross Progression and the Kyohaku Rocket League series will be joining us in a 12-team bracket with some of the best teams that all three leagues have to offer. After that, we'll have our Knockout Cup in partnership with Crack, and even after that, we'll bring back the Paradise Cup by popular demand. So to all of you who are watching and thinking, what can I do next? Well, that's what you can do next as we prepare for Season 6. Thank you all so much. Have an amazing rest of the night from the ATS staff to you. Thank you, take care, and be well. Thank you so much.
When I had the world wrapped in satin, before you tossed it. When I held your heart in my two hands, before you lost it. Tic-tac-toe, I count the seconds till you go. So when you're coming back again, if you know where it begins, it also ends. And then we start again. Tic-tac-toe, I count the seconds till you go. So when you're coming back again, if you know that when your mind is with us, I see
Mercy.
till you.
Gun.